Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to learn about the top 15 Instamojo automations, which means that this video is going to be a complete guide for you where you can learn the most amazing and immensely useful automations for Instamojo to make your life completely easier. What you can do is, first of all, create ATG receipts from the payments which are done using Instamojo. You can collect the details of all the payments in MS Excel and different databases. You can create contacts and leads in various CRM applications like Pipedrive and Zoho CRM. Also, you can send SMS or WhatsApp notifications for the payments done in Instamojo. And lastly, you can schedule a meeting for every payment that is done by any customer if needed. And not just these, you can perform multiple automations with the help of Pabbly Connect that you are going to learn in this video. Let us learn how are we going to do that.
Hello everyone, this is Swati. Welcome to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to see how to create ATG receipts once payment is received through Instamojo Smart Page, and then you have to share it on some social media app, let's say WhatsApp or Facebook, etc. How would you do this? So first of all, you should know that ATG receipts are receipts that you get once you have made some donation, and you even get some tax rebate against them. And then what is Instamojo? So Instamojo is a payment gateway. Now, and we know what are Google Docs and WhatsApp. So now what is it that we need? Let's say that you are a business person. You want that every time there is a donation made on Instamojo, so the payment is made through Instamojo, automatically this document first should be created. Okay, this document is already there, but it should be created and then should be shared on the WhatsApp number of the person who has made the donation. Now this process, if you will do it manually, it is definitely kill a lot of time. At the same time, it is going to be troublesome. What if I tell you that these three applications can get integrated, which means this entire process can get automated? How would you do that? For this, you actually have to take this software. So this software is the solution for everything. This is a Pabbly Connect software, which is an integration automation thing where you do not need any coding skills. All you need is to follow few steps, which I'm going to take you to my screen and explain you, and trust me, then you would be able to do this integration within a few minutes. So now let me take you to my screen. So let us now begin the process. First we have to type the URL www.pabbly.com/connect here, and as we do that, it is going to take us to the landing page of Pabbly Connect software. Once we are here, then we can see two options. One is sign in and another one is sign up for free. Here, if you are an existing user, then you have to just sign in. And if you are a new user, then you can sign up for free. We provide 100 free tasks every month in the free account of Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to click on sign in. Why? Because I'm an existing user here. And now it has taken me to the all apps, where I'm going to click on access now. Why? Because we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. So click on access now. And now again it has taken me to the dashboard, where on the right hand side you can see create workflow. So I'm going to click on this tab, and now this dialog box appears which is asking me to name my workflow. So let me name it as Create ATG Receipts through Instamojo Smart Pages. Now let's click on Create. Now as we do this, this particular window appears which has two very important events. One is this trigger, another one is this action. Basically, triggers and actions are those two concepts, those two principles on which this entire automation works. Trigger means when this happens, an action says do this, which means action is the response to the trigger. Now the first application that I'm supposed to search here is Instamojo. Why? Because Instamojo is my application and I want that these receipts should be created through Instamojo Smart Pages. And what would be my trigger event here? New sale. So now we have to add this webhook URL to our Instamojo payment link or payment page, for which we are willing to generate ATG certificates. So now I'm going to take you to my Instamojo page. So this is the home page of Instamojo, where I have all these pages. Can you see? Smart pages, payments, payouts, etc. So I have already created a smart page and the name of the page is donation. Now here I'm going to click on these three dots and I'm going to edit the page to show you what I've done. This entire page can be customized and you can create your own pages as well. Now here is the page header. So I have given the name donation. Now I've selected an image here to enhance the look of it. Then you can even select the page theme, appearance, custom theme, pricing, etc. Now for the pricing thing, I have got 3 options. So the first purpose, I have written blood donation and the amount is 9. Second is organ donation, amount is 10, and the third is money donation, amount is 9. So basically this is just a test. You know, I'm just running a test to make you understand how you actually have to do this integration. That's why the amount is this. You can just put in the real-time amount. And now as we come down here, so again you can have, you know, profile picture, logo of your company and etc. So as we come down, these are the page settings. At last we have add webhook. This is important for us to create the integration. Now I'm going to turn this on. So here you can see enter the webhook URL. So I'm going to go back to my Pabbly Connect page and copy this URL from here, go back here and paste it. So done. Then we have the URL settings. So, you know, you can just go through this and you can customize the page as per your demand. Now I'm going to click on save and update. So now I'm going to go back to my Pabbly Connect and here I'm going to click on recapture webhook response. And now I'm going to go back to my Instamojo page and here let's go to view page, the page that we have just created. And now here we have to choose an option below to pay. So let's say that I have opted for money donation and let's click on pay now. So we have to fill in our customer information here and once done, so we have filled in all the information and let's click on pay now. So we have basically received here the QR code. And let me just quickly make the payment. So now you can see that the payment has been successful and we have received the thank you message as well. Going back to Pabbly Connect, we are waiting for the webhook response. So yes, it has captured the response. The API response is here. This is the payment ID. Payment status is success. Amount is 9 in INR. And it is telling us the created time in this particular format. So first we'll have to change the format also. So here we have the buyer's name, email address, phone number, and all the details are right here. So now the next step that we have to choose is date time format. Why? Because we have received the date in a different format and as we will move ahead, we'll have to change the format. Here I'm going to format only the date. Connect. And now I have to map the data. Map the data means the data that we have already received in the previous step. So we are going to gather that data here. So I'm going to click on Instamojo and the date. Once done, so this is a format it is in currently the same format which is written here. And now to format for this, I am going to click on date, month, year. So this is the format that I need. And then we'll click on save and send test request. Once done, here see, you can see that we have received our data in the desired format. So now after this, we want to generate the ATG donor certificate. For that, I have already created an ATG donor certificate template inside my Google Docs. So let me just show you that. So this is the ATG certificate. Now here you can see like the first thing is the logo of the company, then the company details, financial cycle is written. Then we have a certificate number and you can see this particular part is in curly braces, double curly braces. Why? Because this is a variable. The certificate number would change for every user. That is why this is in curly braces. So whenever, this is the format, okay? So whenever you have to write something which will be continuously changing for every particular user, so that's why it has to be written like inside curly braces, double curly braces. Now again this date and it is also written in double curly braces, so now it becomes a variable. So this is to confirm that Magnet Brain Software Private Limited received a total amount of this amount. Again it is a variable, so written in double curly braces. From donor name, so donor name is the fourth variable here as per the payment details given below. Now if you will see the date, again payment received date, so this is also in the double curly braces. Then we have amount received and invoice ID. We thank you for the contribution towards the corpus of the Magnet Brain software and help support our work. And then we have the address and email ID. So after creating the template, we just have to go to Pabbly Connect and here we have to choose the application Google Docs. So here is, where do we have Google Docs? Yeah, here. So we'll click on Google Docs after connecting the Google Docs account, so our action event would be create document from template. Why? Because we already have an existing template and we have to create a document with it. So let's click on this and click on connect. So now I'm going to click on add new connection, and since Pabbly Connect is asking me to connect it with Google Docs account, so here let me just select the account, and now it is going to ask me for authorization. So let's click on continue, and here we can see that the authorization is now successful. So as we come down, the template document has already been registered here. What is the new document's name? So let's say that I wish to name it like this. So first I want the buyer's name, and then I also need the email ID of the person. So this is how I'm going to name my document along with the buyer's name and email address. Then new documents location. So ATG certificate is already here. Now comes the certificate number. So for the certificate number, I'm going to go back to Instamojo new sale. First, I'm going to take the buyer's name, and along with this, I'm going to include the payment ID. So this is going to be my certificate number. Actually, you can design this as per your wish. Now the date. For this date, we are going to go to this date time formatter by Pabbly and click on result. As we come down here, we have to map the amount received. So again, I'm going to click here, go to Instamojo new sale, and this is the payment amount. Now let's come down, and is the donor's name. So let's quickly map the data, and this is the donor's name. Now payment received date is going to be the same. So let's click on this, and then the invoice ID. So for this invoice ID, I'm going to map the payment ID. So let's click on this. And here we are done. So now let's click on save and send test request. And as we do that, we can see here we have received the API response. So basically you have received the document ID from this particular step. So now once we are done with this particular step, so what would happen is this particular document would be saved in our Google Drive. So once we go back to our Google Drive, here we can see that this is the document that we have just created. And let's open this. So this is a dummy name and dummy@pabblytuts.com. So the name and the email address is here, and then we have received the information, the date, the amount, the invoice ID, and then again here is the name and the payment ID. As we come here, basically you can see that the default settings are private to only me, but we wish that this document should be shared with everyone, so that the same process is not supposed to be repeated. So I'm going to go back to my Pabbly, and here I'm going to choose another action, which is Google Drive. And once I go to Google Drive, what is going to be my action event? Here I wish that this particular file should be shared with anyone. So I'm going to click on share the file with anyone, and let's click on connect then. Once done, again I'm going to add new connection and then connect with Google Drive. This is the step where Pabbly Connect asks you to make this connection. Now I've chosen the account, and let's click on continue to authorize it. And here we can see that the authorization has been successful. So now it is asking me for the file ID. For this, I'm going to map the data, and I'm going to delete this. Go to my Google Docs, and just in the above step, we had received this Google document ID. So I'm going to click on this. And then we are going to save and send test request. So as we click on this, we will be receiving this API response. And yes, this is the API response. Here we have received a lot of links, but the link that we wish to share on our WhatsApp document has to be a PDF link. So here what are we going to do is we are going to check which one is our PDF link. So let's check this one. Okay, so this one is export links application /PDF. So this is our PDF link. So we'll be using this one. Now once we are done with this process, we are going to quickly go back and check our certificate. So here you can see that these sharing options are changed. Now it can be shared with anyone with the link. That is why we had done this process. Now I'm coming back to Pabbly Connect, and now what is the next action? Next action has to be I have to share it on WhatsApp Cloud API. Basically, what do I want? I want a message should be shared on WhatsApp along with the ATG certificate. So here my action event would be send template message. Now let's click on connect. As we do that, I'm going to click on add new connection. So basically Pabbly Connect is asking us to connect it with WhatsApp Cloud API account so that it can have the information. For this connection setup, it needs 3 things: token, phone number ID, and WhatsApp business account ID. For this, I'm going to go to Meta for Developers page, and here these are the My Apps. Basically, I have already created these apps. Now you can also create your own app. How would you create? By clicking on this create app thing. Also, a dedicated video is there in the description box where you would be able to understand how to run this entire WhatsApp API. So here I'm going to click on this My Connect message app which I've already created, and once I go there, on the left hand side there is this WhatsApp. So let's click on this drop down, click on getting started, and here we would get all the information that we need. Here is a temporary access token, then the phone number ID and the WhatsApp business account ID. One thing that you have to be really aware of is that this is just a temporary access token. It will expire after 23 hours, which means if you will create your workflow using this particular token, then your workflow will stop working after like a day. So here you will have to generate your permanent access token. And how would you do this? So a dedicated video has been given in the description box regarding how to create this permanent access token. So you can follow the steps from there and create your own permanent access token. Now I'm going to copy this temporary access token, go back to my Pabbly page and paste it here. Go back to Meta Developers, copy the phone number ID and paste it here. Then we have the WhatsApp business account ID and then we have to paste it here. So this is how you have to create your connection with WhatsApp Cloud API account. And as we click on save, so here you can see the template name, language code, selected template ID. So we have to fill in the required details. So first we have to understand what is a template. A template is basically pre-written WhatsApp messages that you can share on WhatsApp or any other social media app. So if I take you back to my developers page and click here, so this page will show you all the templates that I've already created. So, and to create your own message template, you can click here and then you can refer to the video. It will tell you exactly how you have to create a message template. Now the template that I already have created is donation certificate. So now I'm going to choose this. I'm going to go back to Pabbly page here and select my template as donation certificate. And now as I come down, here it is asking me for the mobile number. So once we go down and we go to this Instamojo new sale, here you can see that the mobile number is with plus and the country code. But here you can see that it has been very clearly stated that you have to enter the mobile number with the country code but without the plus sign. For this, we'll go up and we are going to add another action step. This step would be text formatter. This is another feature by Pabbly. And as we go here, we are going to split the text. Why? Because we have to remove the plus sign. Let's click on connect here. And as we come down, so here we are going to go to Instamojo and then this is the mobile number. So what is the separator supposed to be? It is supposed to be plus. Why? Because we need the data after the plus sign. And here I'm going to click on second. So let's click on save and send test request. And here you can see that we have received our mobile number in the exact desired format. Again, I'm going to click on connect and save. Once done, here let's go down and now we are going to map the data from this text formatter by Pabbly. So let's quickly go down and get the mobile number. Now comes the header document URL. So this is the URL that we had received from our Google Drive thing, and we want this in the PDF format. So the PDF format link is this one. Let's click on this. Now the header document file name. So I can just quickly ATG certificate. Now comes the body field. So I have to map the name. So let's go down and this is the name. And then we have the payment details. So for the payment details, again, I'm going to Instamojo and the payment amount. And this is also mapped. So we have mapped all the details. Now we are going to click on this save and send test requests and see if we have received a message on WhatsApp. So let's click here and yes, we have received the API response and I can check that I have received a message. Now I am showing the screenshot to you. And yes, we have received the message, hello dummy name, we have received your donation of 9 rupees. We are thankful for your efforts to make things easy for everyone in need. Please check the donation certificate attached above. And now this is the donation certificate. You can check the screenshot here. So here we have the name with the like payment ID, the date is there, invoice ID, date, amount, and etc. So I'm sure that now you're aware of the process how to create ATG receipts once payment is received through Instamojo Smart Pages. Now I'm going to quickly take you back and show you the entire process. So here the first thing that we had done was, first we had chosen the trigger as Instamojo, where we had chosen the trigger event as new sale. And then here, once done, then the URL that we had received, we went to our Instamojo page and there we had used this URL to create the connect. Once this was done, then we had chosen this date time formatter, which is a feature by Pabbly to format the date. And once we had formatted the date, we had received the date in the desired format. Then we had to create a document from the already existing template. We have already created a template. That's why the application was Google Docs and the action event was create document from template. And here we had given all the required information, and then we had received a response where we had received the document ID. Now the thing was that this file could not be shared with anyone. Why? Because the default setting was with me only, like with only one person, the person who has created it. So then we had chosen another action step, Google Drive, where the file could be shared with everyone. Okay, then we had filled in the required details, and as we came down, then we had chosen another step, which was text formatter. Why? Because we had to format the mobile number as we did not require the plus sign. And finally, we had integrated this entire process with WhatsApp Cloud API so that a message can be shared on WhatsApp. So now I'm going to run this entire process in real time. So we are going to go back to our Instamojo page. And here I am going to quickly go to view page, and once I went here, I'm going to this time select blood donation and do the payment. So let's say that my name is payment demo, and the last name is, let's say, testing. Now the email ID is paymentdemo@pabblytuts.com. Mobile number is okay, done, and let's click on pay. So now it has showed me the QR code. Let me just make the payment. So here you can see that the payment has been successful, which means the moment this payment is successful, I should receive a message on my WhatsApp. So let's now quickly go and check our WhatsApp, and yes, here you can see that we have received the ATG certificate. So we have received the message, hello payment demo testing, we have received your donation of ₹9. We are thankful for your efforts to make things easy for everyone in need, and this message remains the same, and the ATG certificate has been attached with the message, which means that this entire integration process is now finally successful. And I have also explained you the process. In case of any doubts, you can refer to this particular workflow, which is also given in the description box, and you can even clone this workflow and start processing. Do remember that you do not have to run this setup again and again, which means you do not have to integrate all these applications again. This is just a one-time setup, and then this process will be all automated. In case if you have any doubts or you have suggestions, then you can always write to us. In this video, we are going to see how to send SMS for successful Instamojo payments. So if you are using Instamojo as a payment gateway, and what do you want? Every time there is a new sale, so a message should be shared with the person. So you can integrate these two applications, and then this is possible. Let me show you how. To begin, we are going to first type the URL pabbly.com/connect. Let's click on enter, and it has taken us to the software's landing page. Here, if you are an existing user, simply sign in, and if you're a new user, then sign up for free. I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in, and now access now. So now it has taken me to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here on the right hand side, we can see the tab create workflow. Let's click on this, and now I'm going to name my workflow. So I want to send SMS for successful Instamojo payments. So I'm going to name my workflow as Instamojo to MSG91 integration, MSG91. MSG91 is a cloud communication platform that offers powerful messaging solutions. So I'm going to click on create here. And now it has taken us to this page where you can see two very important events, trigger and action. Basically, triggers and actions are those two concepts or principles on which this entire automation works. Trigger basically says when this happens, and action says do this. Basically, action is the response of the trigger. Now here, what do I want? That every time there is a successful Instamojo payment, then I should receive a SMS. So here my first application would be Instamojo, and now the event. So trigger event would be here new sale. So every time a successful payment is done, then only this workflow will start. So here you can see that we have received this webhook URL which will be used to connect Pabbly Connect and Instamojo, and we have to follow the following steps to make this connection. So I'm going to take you to my Instamojo account. Now here let's click on Smart Pages. So here you can see that I've already created a few pages, and here you can create your own page by clicking on this tab. So I'm just going to click on these three dots, and now I'm going to click on Edit Page. So here you can see that this is how you have your page in front of you, which can be totally customized. So there is a page header, you can put your own picture, and the title is Programming Languages. Then as I go down, you can even select the theme here, then the pricing. So I have got here three options. Purpose, core PHP programming, the amount is 9. Now this is just a test run, so I've kept it as 9. Then I have a JavaScript tutorial, then learning Python basics. So these are the three options that I've provided here. And then as I scroll down, so here you can even put a profile picture of your company. Here you can paste the social media links. Now these are the page settings. So as we scroll down, here you can see add webhook. So to create this connection, I'm going to click on this. Now let us go back to our Pabbly Connect page and copy the URL. So I'm going to go here, copy this URL, come back to Instamojo and paste it here to set up this connection. I'm going to go up and click on save and update. So once done, now I'm going to go back to Pabbly Connect page, and here you can see it is saying that waiting for webhook response. So basically it is saying that you have to log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So going back to dashboard, I'm again going to go and click here and click on view page. Now here you can see the page that we have just created, and let's say that I want to buy JavaScript tutorial and click on pay now. So here we have to fill in the customer information. So let's say it is dummy testing, email ID is dummy@pabblytudes.com. Then we have to fill in the mobile number. So here is the mobile number, and now I'm going to click on pay. As I do that, now we have the QR code in front of us, and now let's make the payment. So here you can see that the payment has been successful. And now we have received the confirmation that our payment has been processed. Let's go back to Pabbly Connect and check if we have received the response. See, here you can see that yes, the payment status is success. Then this is the payment ID. Currency is INR. This is the amount. Payment completed at, and this is the date. And then if we come down again, this is the buyer's name, email address, then we have the phone number, etc. So, and then again here, the purpose. Basically, what did we buy? So we have got all the information right here. Now what do we need to do is, every time there is a payment, successful payment, we should receive a SMS. So for that, I'm going to go down and choose my action step as MSG91. So let's click on this. And the action event. So here I'm going to click. What do I have to send? I have to send a SMS. So sends an existing campaign. So I'm going to click on send campaign. Now let's click on connect here. And now what Pabbly Connect is asking me to set up a connection with MSG91 account. For this, I'm going to click on add new connection. And now it is here asking for this API key. For this, you have to log into your MSG91 account and then visit the SMS section as given here. So here I'm going to take you to my MSG91 account. I have already logged in here. And now let's click on SMS. And here you can see auth key on the left hand side. Let's click on this. And here we have to fill in the mobile number. Let's click on next, and now we have to fill in the OTP. So let's fill in the OTP, click on verify. So now here we have received the auth key. So we are going to copy this and go back to Pabbly Connect, and here we are going to paste it to set up this connection. Let's click on save. So once done, here if I come down, you can see, so slug is basically the campaign which we want to send to our users. So I'm going to take you back to my MST91 account. So here you can see campaign. So I'm going to click here, and here these are the two campaigns that we have already created. You can create your own campaign by clicking on this tab, new campaign. So now if we go back to Pabbly Connect, here you can see that it has already captured the campaign that I'm using, Pabbly Connect. So two mobile numbers. Basically we have to enter the mobile number on which we want to send the message, and here you have to remember that you have to write the country code. So I'm going to type the mobile number, and now to name, let's say the name is Pabbly Connect, and then the email, mobile numbers, etc. You can fill in this information. Here again you can see name, username and mobile. Now this is the information that you would have received from the payment, that is Instamojo. So I'm going to here map the value. Mapping means to receive the value which you have already received in the previous steps. So here if I click on Instamojo new sale, and here I need the name. So this is the buyer's name, dummy testing. Let's click on this. Now the username. So again this is the same. I'm going to click on buyer's name, and then the mobile number. So let me map the mobile number as well, and this is the mobile number. Now let's click on save and send test request. So here we can see that yes, we have received the response that your request has been queued successfully, which means that I should now receive a message on my phone. And yes, here it is the screenshot of the message. Hello dummy testing, sign up into your account with username this. Now this basically is a sign up template that we have already created. You can design your own template. Now basically this means that these two applications, Pabbly Connect and Instamojo, these two have got integrated. So now I'm going to test this live. I'm going to go back to my Instamojo account, and here I'm again going to make a payment, for which I'm going to go click on view page, and this time let's say I want to buy Learning Python Basics. Click on pay now, fill in the information, let's say payment demo, and last name is name, email ID is let's say paymentdemo@pabblytudes.com. Then now let's say the mobile number is, and click on pay. So now the QR code is here and we have to make the payment. So here I have done the payment and we have received the message payment successful here. So as soon as the payment has been successful, what should happen? I should receive a SMS, and yes, here is the screenshot. So I have already received the message, hello payment demo, this is the name, and then the same sign up template, and then the mobile number, which means that yes, this integration has been successful. Now let me take you through the entire process so that you can understand it once again. So basically the first trigger application that we had chosen was Instamojo, and the event was new sale. Here you can see this video icon. You can click on this to understand the tutorial well. You understand the entire Instamojo process, how to make payments, how to create page, etc. Then the next application, action application, was MSG91, as we had to send messages, and our event was sent campaign. That is, this was the two-step process. I hope you are absolutely clear with this. In case of any doubts, you can always refer to the workflow which is given in the description box. You can also clone this workflow and start processing immediately. In case of any doubt or in case of any queries or suggestion, you can always write to us.
Automatically create Instamojo payment link on form submission and then send the same link on WhatsApp. So you can also automate your online payment collection process. Just create a form in any form builder software. I have created my form in Jotform. When the form is submitted in Jotform, I am going to auto generate the payment link in Instamojo payment gateway, and then I am going to send the same payment link on WhatsApp of the form submitter, something like this. To create this automation, I need to integrate these applications together with the help of an automation and integration software. So let's start the process. So open your browser and type pabbly.com/connect in your browser, and you will reach to our automation software, from where we will start creating our automation. The very first thing you'll have to do is to create your account for free. I already have an account, that's why I am going to sign in. Alright, and also you will get 100 free tasks at the time of account creation, so that you can actually test this automation which I am creating right now in front of you. Click on access now and you will reach to the dashboard. From here you'll have to click on create workflow button and give any random name to your workflow. I am giving the name as, let's say, Instamojo to Jotform to WhatsApp. Okay, so basically we are going to integrate these 3 applications in order to build our automation. Once you will click on create button, you will find 2 boxes in front of you, trigger and action, and on the basis of these 2 principles only, on the basis of trigger and action only, our automation is going to work. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So let's understand with an example. When a sale happen, let's say in Razorpay payment gateway, share a file via Google Drive application. When a form is submitted, let's say Google Forms, send a message via Gmail application. According to our use case, when the form is submitted in Jotform, we need to create a payment link in our Instamojo payment application, which I am going to select later. Let's complete the first step, which is connecting Jotform with Pabbly Connect, so that Pabbly Connect will fetch out the data of form submission and then it will send the data to Instamojo payment gateway. Okay, so new response will be our trigger event. Now you can see Jotform has given us a webhook URL. You'll have to copy this webhook URL and follow these instructions what is written over there. Okay, and then go back to your Jotform. Okay, this is the form which I have created in Jotform. Let me open that form. Let me open my Jotform account. Okay, all right. So this is the dashboard of Jotform and this is the form which I have created. I am going to click on edit form and basically here I am going to paste that webhook URL which I have just received from Pabbly Connect. Okay, so I am going to click on settings and under the settings you will find the integration section. Here you will find the webhook option. Let me search it. Okay, you can find it here. Okay, select it and paste that same URL, the webhook URL here, and click on add new webhook and you can see your webhook has been added. Is there any button? Close it. Complete the integration. And you can see it is written integration is ready. Now what is written over there? Again read it. Log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do a test submission or record. So that is why I am going to do a test submission in the form which I have created and which I have just connected with Pabbly Connect. Okay, so let's do a dummy submission here. Let's write, let's say admin@pabblytouch.com. all right, name Pabbly testing for now I am adding. Okay, and the mobile number. So let me add the number. Click on register now and I have registered successfully, and let's check whether Pabbly Connect has captured the data, and you can see whatever the details I have filled out has been captured. Okay, this is my name, this is the email address, this is the name, and this is the number. Okay, that means the first step of integration is actually completed. Now what we'll have to do is to select the Instamojo payment gateway, because on submission of the form, we need to create a payment link. So that is why I am going to select my action event as create payment link and click on connect. And here I am going to choose add new connection, and by simply adding these 2 details. Now from where you will find these details? I am already logged into my Instamojo account. Okay, so when I will click on this particular hyperlink, I will reach to the exact place where I can find these 2 details. Okay, let's wait it. It is getting open. So what exactly we want? We want private API key and private auth token, with the help of which we will be connected in just few seconds. And I have reached to this place, and you can see here is the private API key. Let's copy it and paste it. And the second thing is the token. Copy it and paste it. And simply click on the save button and you will be connected immediately. Alright. And you can see after connected, you will find few fields over there. Okay, we just have to fill these fields and our payment link will be generated in our Instamojo payment account. The very first thing is the payment link title. Enter the suitable payment link name. I want to give the name as paid registration link for upcoming event. Okay, all right. Now it is asking the amount, so I want to create the payment link of 599 rupees. So I have added it, and it has also mentioned that a specific format. So I am going to add 00 as well, following the instructions. All right. Now it is asking for allow repeated payments. So I don't want to allow it. That is why I am going to keep it false. So basically I want only single payment can be made with the payment request link if false. That is why I have kept a false. Leave this field blank and click on save and send test request. And let's see what is the response we have received. And the response has been received. Let me check my payment link. Here you can find it, payment request long URL. Let me open this link, whether the link is actually got created or not. Let me open it. Okay, yes, you can see I have created the payment link. I have filled out the details. 599. I want the link to be created of 599 rupees with this title, and you can see for the same title and for the same amount, the payment link in our Instamojo account has been created. Now what exactly we'll have to do? I want to forward the same link to the person who is submitting the form so that he can directly pay from this link, okay, for my event registration. All right, so that is why I will come back to Pabbly Connect, and again as an action step I will click here and choose WhatsApp Cloud API. Now you will ask me, what is WhatsApp Cloud API? So we are going to send WhatsApp messages using WhatsApp Cloud API, and WhatsApp Cloud API is the official API of WhatsApp which Facebook has recently launched. So you can actually rely on it. This is a very cost-effective solution. In action event, I am going to select send template message. What is this send template message? I'll tell you later. Now for now, click on connect and click on add new connection, and it will ask you three details: token, phone number, ID, WhatsApp business account ID. From where you will find it? You'll have to go to your WhatsApp Cloud API account, for which you will have to type developers.facebook.com in your browser. Okay, the spelling is not correct. Let me correct it. developers.facebook.com in your browser, and this is how. Okay, it is wrong again. No, it is correct. So I have reached to the landing page of WhatsApp Cloud API. Here you'll have to create your account. I already have an account. That's why I am clicking on this My App, and you can see I have reached to the dashboard. Now the very first thing after creating account in WhatsApp Cloud API is to create an app and generate a permanent token. I am repeating this again. You'll have to create an app first and generate a permanent token. The separate video for the same, that how you can generate an app and generate a permanent token, is attached in my description box. Please go to my description box, open that video, okay, and set up your WhatsApp Cloud API, and then come back to this particular video once again. All right, so once you will do it, you will find your application here. This is my application. Click on your application, and from the left hand side you will actually find the WhatsApp section. Just click on getting started, and here you will find all three details which are actually required for connecting Pabbly Connect and WhatsApp Cloud API. You can see the token is here, copy. I am using this temporary access token. This will expire in 23 hours. I am creating this video just for telling you how it can be done. But when you will send the actual messages to your customers, again, you will have to generate a permanent token, which I have just told you, okay? So simply copy it. I am copying it actually, the temporary token, and pasting it here. The second thing is actually the phone number ID. You can find it here, okay, under the step 1. Paste it here. Lastly, WhatsApp business account ID. Again, copy it and paste it here. And this is how you will find all 3 details. Click on save and you will be connected immediately, alright? And you can see I have connected. Let's fill out the fields one by one. The very first thing is the template name. Now, I have just told you that I will tell you about the template messages. So basically, WhatsApp asks you to first create a template of your message, get it approved via Facebook, and then only you can actually send the messages to your customer. Basically, you can initiate the conversation with your customer, okay? So first you'll have to generate a template and get it approved via Facebook. Since I am connected, you can see whatever the templates I have created in my account have started visible. Let me even show you the dashboard, okay? You will find this template section here under the step 2. You will find this blue link. Click on it. Click here. It is taking a little bit time. You can see all the message templates are here and all of them are already approved. I have created them and already get them approved, okay? These are the templates which are actually visible here. Now let me show you my template which I have created. But before I show you my template, how you can actually create the template, again you can watch the video which I have added in the description box. If you want to learn, you can actually click on this blue button, choose any category, give any random name. Let's say paid registration is the name, okay? Choose any language, okay? Let's say I am selecting English. You can choose multiple languages as well. Click on continue. And the important thing I would like to show you is that you can compose your message here. Let's say hello, and whatever the value you want to change every time the form is submitted, you will have to keep them in the form of variable, which you can add from here. Plus add variable. You can see my variable has been added and I want the name should be changed every time. That is why I have kept it in the form of variable. And this is how you can actually compose your message. Thank you for registration, and whatever you are going to write will be visible in the right side from this preview section, okay? You can even attach the header, the footer, and the call to action button as well along with your WhatsApp message. And the special thing about the header is you can even attach the text as well as media, okay? So, and in media also you will find 3 options. You can attach a document, maybe a PDF brochure, a video and image as well along with your message, okay? So this is the special thing about this header. Now one more very important thing which people generally forget about, and they ask me that my template is actually not got approved. What is the reason? People forget to add these samples. Let's say I have selected this image and I have kept this particular variable in my template. So I'll have to upload a sample file in the header section and give any sample name. Let's say I'm giving the name as Sonam. Again, I'm repeating, do not forget to mention these samples, otherwise your template will not get approved, okay? Once you will fill all these details, you can actually submit from here and wait for the approval. This is how you can actually create your template. For now, I am cancelling it, and let me show you my template which I have created already and got it approved. Registration process, okay, where it is? Here it is, registration process, okay? You can see this is my template message, and I have kept 2 variables, 1 and 2, since I want these, actually 3, since I want these 3 values to be changed, okay? So let's come back to Pabbly Connect and select the same template name, alright? So registration link was the name of my registration process, is the name of my template. Keep the language code and selected template ID as it is. The third thing is the recipient mobile number to whom we would like to send the messages. So basically, I want to send the messages to the person who is filling out the form. So that is why I'll have to fill out the number of that person who is filling the form. From where I can actually find it? Simply click on this field and you will find the response of Jotform here. You just have to select that particular field, basically the number field, and it will be mapped here. And the special thing about mapping is whatever value you will map here will be changed on every form submission. One more very important thing is that read the instructions, enter the recipient mobile number with the country code without plus sign. So it actually requires a country code as well. That is why I am going to add my country code here. But one more tip I would like to give you is that you can actually mention the same in your form only to your people that they need to provide their WhatsApp number along with the country code. Make it mandatory for the people so that actually you will not get any issue while mapping this number field. Okay, for now I have added it manually. Let's fill out other three details. What are these? Body field 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically these are the fields which I have kept. Let me show you my template. These are the fields which I have kept in my 1, 2, 3, 4. I have kept 4 variables. That is why 4 fields are visible. What is my first variable? Basically, it is the name of the person. From where I can find it? I can find it actually from the Jotform submission. And where is the name? Alright, here it is. Your name, Pabbly testing. Remember, I have kept the name this. What is the event? So my event is actually from where I can actually get the event name. Let me check it. Okay. So maybe I can actually map this particular form title, or I can actually give the name manually as well. So I would like to give the name as event registration. Okay. So that is why I have write it manually. Alright. Body field 3 is basically the payment link. I want the payment link should be replaced here. Okay. Here. So that is why I'm going to map the payment link. From where I will find it? I will find it from this second section. Okay, basically from the Instamojo response. Remember, we have created a payment link in Instamojo. I have to map the same, and I have mapped it. Last field is the body field 4, basically the company name. Well, it is not going to change every time. That is why I am writing it manually again. If in case you want to map it, you want to change it every time, you can actually map it from the response. Alright. For now, I am going to click on save and send test request because I have filled all the fields, and now I am expecting the message to be arrived to the person's WhatsApp number who has just submitted the form. Okay. So let's click on save and send test request. I have also opened the account of that number which I have filled at the time of form submission. Now clicking on save and send test request, and let's see the response, and you can see the response is received. Let me wait for the message. Let me refresh it. The message is arrived. You can read it. The name is here, Pabbly testing, which I have filled out while filling out the form. We have received your request for the event registration. This is the name of my event which I have filled out. Alright, and you can see the payment link is here. Let's open it. And basically the person can directly open it and directly pay from this link. And this is how we can actually automate the entire process of generating an Instamojo payment link and then sending it on WhatsApp whilst right after submitting the form automatically. So let's come back to Pabbly Connect, and generally people ask me that even after watching the video, that do we really need to do this whole setup again and again? Do we really need to map these things? Do we really need to do the connections again and again? Well, no. You do not have to do anything. You just have to create this particular automation once in Pabbly Connect, and this is the power, this is the magic of Pabbly Connect, that once you will do this setup, you do not actually have to do anything. Simply close each and every software, simply even close the Pabbly Connect as well. And now onwards, whenever someone is going to fill this form, the payment link will be generated automatically in Instamojo, and the same link will be forwarded to the person automatically on his WhatsApp. Not just this kind of automation, one can create different kind of automations in Pabbly Connect. If you are not sure how you can start, from where you can start, simply drop your queries in the comment section. Me and my team will definitely going to help you. Okay, thank you for watching this video.
So in this video, we will learn how to enroll a user in WebinarKit on Instamojo Payment. Now suppose you are conducting some kind of webinar using WebinarKit and you are using Instamojo to collect the payment for that webinar. It is a paid webinar. So guys, you want that the customers who are paying you, you want to add them in your webinar. So basically you can automate this complete process. And the trigger of this automation will be payment received in Instamojo. So as and when we receive a new payment in Instamojo, automatically the customer who made the payment will be added as a registrant in our webinar. How you can set up this automation and use it? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So first, we will go to our browser and search for pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So I will sign into my own Pabbly Connect account. So after clicking on sign in, we will reach to this all up page of Pabbly. So at this page below Pabbly Connect, we will click on Access Now. After clicking on Access Now, here we have reached to the Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now at this dashboard, we just have to click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Instamojo to WebinarKit and click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is, first we have to get the details or the data of new payments which we are receiving on our Instamojo payment link in Pabbly Connect. Then after that, using Pabbly Connect, we will send the details of the customer who made the payment to WebinarKit so that we can enroll that customer or add that customer as a registrant in our webinar. So let's begin with our process. So here in trigger window in choose app, we will search for Instamojo. Instamojo it is. And after that, in trigger event from the drop down, we will select new sale. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we will use this webhook URL to make the connection between Instamojo payment link and Pabbly Connect. And how we are going to do so, you can refer to the help text given below over here. So just copy this webhook URL from here and then go to your Instamojo account. So here, this is the dashboard of my Instamojo account. Now here, either you can add this webhook URL to your existing payment link or payment page, or you can create a new one. So we are going to create a new payment link over here. Just click on create new, go to payment links and click on create link. Then select smart link over here and give this payment link a page. For example, webinar on YouTube marketing. Webinar on YouTube marketing. So this is the name of the webinar for which I'm getting the payments. Then just select the pricing. For example, I will enter a pricing of 9 rupees over here and click on customize link. Then after that, at this page, select smart action and then select add webhook. Now, as we select add webhook over here in this update payment link section, here we have a field. Now in this field, we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy this webhook URL from here, go to Instamojo and paste it over here. And after that, just click on done. And that's it. we have successfully created a new payment link in Instamojo, and using the webhook URL, we have connected that payment link with Pabbly Connect. Now, every time we will receive a new payment in Instamojo on that payment link, we will get the details of the very same payment in Pabbly Connect as well. And we are going to do the same. Just copy this payment URL from here, go to new tab and paste it. Now in Pabbly Connect workflow guys, we can see that it is showing us waiting for webhook response, which means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get the details or the data of new sale from Instamojo. So at this payment URL, at this payment page, which we have created just now, we are going to make a dummy payment, a test payment. For example, I'll enter a name as dummy name. Let's enter the email address. And after that, let's enter a dummy mobile number. Click on next. After doing this, let me make a payment over here. And the payment is done. We can see that we have successfully received a new payment on our Instamojo payment link, which we have created just now. And because we have connected this same payment link with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL, the details or the data of this payment, newly have received payment, will also be captured inside Pabbly Connect. So let's check. We'll go to Pabbly Connect workflow. And yes guys, here in Pabbly Connect in trigger window, we have received a response. And in this response, we have the payment link ID, we have the payment ID, payment status, currency, amount, as well as the MAC ID. Which means whenever we will receive a new payment in Instamojo payment link, we will get these details of that new payment in Pabbly Connect. But guys, we will notice that in this response, the details of the customer who actually made the payment is missing. So basically using this payment ID, we have to retrieve the details of the customer. So the important note over here says, note that if you need full details corresponding to any transaction ID, then you need to use the Instamojo get payment details event in the next action step. So basically we have to scroll down, come to our action window, and here in choose app, once again we have to search for Instamojo. Just select Instamojo over here. And then after that, in action event from the drop down, select get payment details. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to once again connect our Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect. And this time to make the connection, we required the private API key and private authentication token of our Instamojo account. So how we are going to get this? Now to get the private API key and private authentication token, just go to the dashboard of your Instamojo account, and at this dashboard on the left side you can see API and plugins, this option. Just click on it and you will get the API key and API secret basically, or private authentication token over here. Then just copy the details from Instamojo, paste it in Pabbly Connect and click on save to make the connection. I have already made the connection, so I'll click on select existing connection and click on save. Now after connecting our Instamojo account in action step, it is asking us for the payment ID. That what is the payment ID, what is the transaction ID whose details we want to retrieve. So in our trigger window in this workflow from Instamojo of new payment, we have received the payment ID of that very same payment. So we have to basically map this same payment ID over here in this field. And the process of mapping guys is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down from Instamojo responses, trigger responses, we can see all the responses which we have received. Just select the response of payment ID and map it. And after that, just click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, we can see that all the details of the payment are captured over here. So in the response, we have all the details regarding the payment, like the name of the customer who made the payment, phone number, email address. Other than that, we have the amount of the payment for which the payment was made, date and time of the payment, and other details as well. So guys, we have successfully received the details of the customer who actually made the payment on our Instamojo payment link. Now, we have to send this same details of the customer to WebinarKit so that this same customer can be added as a registrant in our webinar in WebinarKit. Now to do so, we will just scroll down and click on this add action step button over here. And after that, here in choose app, we will search for WebinarKit. WebinarKit it is. And after that, in action event from the drop down, select new webinar registration. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here guys, we have to connect our WebinarKit account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we need the API token of our WebinarKit account. Now how we are going to get this? Just to get the API token, go to the dashboard of your WebinarKit account, go to the right side of the profiles corner, just hover on it, scroll down and click on settings. After reaching to the settings page, just scroll down to the end of this page. And here you will find an option named as API access. So here, because I have already created my API key, that's why you can see my private API key over here of my WebinarKit account. But if you haven't created your key yet, you can see a button, you will be seeing a button named as create API key over here in place of delete API key. Just click on that button and your API key will be generated. After that, just copy this API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here and click on save to make the connection. After connecting our WebinarKit account, we can see that here are some details that WebinarKit is asking us. So the first thing it asks us is the webinar ID. Then in the drop down, we can see the list of all the webinars which I have created in my WebinarKit account can be seen over here. So it is asking us out of all of these webinars, in which webinar we want to add the registrant or add the user. So I have created a webinar named as Webinar on YouTube Video Marketing. I want to add that customer who made the payment on Instamojo to this webinar. So I will select this webinar from the drop down. Then it is asking us for the email address. So we have received the email address of the customer who made the payment after retrieving the customer details of Instamojo. So from these responses, we just have to map this email address over here. And as we all know, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down, we can see the responses which we have received from Instamojo of new sale as well as of get payment detail action step. So from the responses of get payment details, select the response of email address and map it. Then after that, it is asking us for the first name, last name, country code and phone number. So from Instamojo, we have collectively received the first name and last name. Basically, we have collectively received the full name of the user. But now we have to split it. We have to split this full name into first name and last name. And to do so, we just have to click on this plus button, add action step button over here. And after that, in this action step in choose app, we have to search for a feature of Pabbly Connect, that is text formatter. Search for text formatter over here. After selecting text formatter by Pabbly, in the action event from the drop down, select split text. And then click on connect. Now it is asking us text to split, that what is the text which we want to split. So we want to split the first name and the last name of the customer who made the payment, which we have received from Instamojo. So we have to map the same text over here in this field, text to split field. So we'll just click here and from the drop down from the responses of Instamojo, we will select the name of the customer and map it. Then it is asking us for the separator. So we will use space as a separator. We want to split this text before and after this space. So we will use space as a separator. And in segment index, we will select all. And then click on save and send test request. Now after clicking on save and send test request, we can see that we have received the first name and last name of the customer as separate responses. So one by one, we will map this first name and last name in this field. But before, let's click on connect over here in WebinarKit and let's reconnect our WebinarKit account because we have added some new text, some new data in the above step. So after reconnecting it, just click on this first name field and in the drop down, we can see responses of text formatter. And out of these responses, select the response of first name and map it and follow the same process for last name as well. Then after that, it is asking us for the country code. So what is the country code of the customer? So we have received the phone number of the customer, but we haven't received the country code. But I'm in India and the customer's country code in India is basically +91. So I will manually enter the country code and then the phone number. So from the drop down, select and map the phone number. After entering all these details, the last thing it asks us is webinar presentation date. So here we have to enter the actual date of the webinar on which we are hosting, on which we want this user to attend the webinar. So what is the date of the webinar? Let me show you. Let's go to settings. Let's go to WebinarKit, go to the home page. And then this is the webinar which I have created. Let me show you. Let's click on edit webinar. Next. So here we will scroll down and we will find that I have scheduled this webinar to be executed on 17th of August 2022 at 12:45 p.m. So guys, on this date, we want this person to attend the webinar. So here in webinar presentation date, we have to add this same date. But we have to enter this date and time in ISO 8601 format, which is this format. So we will just copy this format from here, paste it over here, and we will make the changes in this date. So the date was 17th of August, so we will enter 17th of August. Year was 2022. And the time was, let me check the time was 12:45 p.m. So we will enter 12:45 over here. So after entering this webinar presentation date, basically the date and time of starting of webinar, just scroll down and click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received a response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the customer who made the payment on our Instamojo payment link is now successfully added as a registrant in our webinar in WebinarKit. So let's check it. Let's go to WebinarKit. Let's go to the home page once again. And this time we will go to the analytics of this webinar. View analytics. We will scroll down. And yes guys, dummy name, the same customer who made the payment, whose details we have entered while making the payment on our Instamojo payment page, the same customer is now added as a new registrant in our webinar in WebinarKit using this automation, which means the automation which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. Now every time we will receive a new payment on our Instamojo payment link, automatically the customer who made the payment will be added as a registrant in our webinar in WebinarKit. So we have successfully created this automation. Now let's understand in brief that what are the steps we followed. So first we have created a workflow in Pabbly Connect, and in this workflow we have selected new sale as a trigger event and Instamojo was our trigger application. Then we connected our Instamojo payment link or payment page with a webhook URL using a webhook URL with Pabbly Connect. And after that we made a test payment on Instamojo payment link. Then we received the response of new payment in Pabbly Connect, but in that response, we haven't received the details of the customer. So in the next step, using Instamojo's action step get payment details, we retrieve the details of the customer. Using text formatter, we have separated the first name and the last name from the full name response of the customer. And at last, we have collectively sent all of these details to WebinarKit so that we can add new webinar registrations in WebinarKit. So not just these applications guys, you can basically connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free.
In this video, we will learn how to add Instamojo payment details to MS Excel automatically. So let's say you are selling something using Instamojo payment gateway, and whenever the payment is received in your gateway, you want to add the details of the very same payment automatically and instantly to MS Excel, like the customer name, customer email, and maybe the amount of the product. To do this automation, I just need to connect Instamojo and MS Excel with the help of an automation software. So how you can create this automation, just follow this video till end. So this is the website of that automation software, Pabbly Connect, with which we are going to connect Instamojo and MS Excel. You can also reach here by typing pabbly.com/connect. Now if you are a new user, sign up here, which is absolutely free, and you will also get free task to test this automation under the free account. I was already an existing user, that is why I have clicked on sign in and then clicked on access now. Now you will see I will reach to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, from where we are going to start creating our automation. Okay, so click on this blue button, create workflow, and give any random name. Let's say I am giving the name as Instamojo to MS Excel automation. Okay, click on create and you will see two boxes in front of you trigger and action. Our automation is going to work on these two principles only. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. When this happens, do this. So basically we need to select the applications in which we need to set our automations. Understand with an example. Let's say whenever a form is submitted in the Google Forms, share a file via Google Drive application. According to our use case, whenever the payment is received in Instamojo Payment Gateway application, add the details of the payment in MS Excel. Okay, so that is why here I'm going to choose Instamojo as my trigger application. Okay, here is Instamojo, select it. In trigger event, there is just a single trigger event, so I'm going to select the same, that is new sale. You can see a webhook URL and few instructions are there. So first step is basically we need to connect Instamojo and Pabbly Connect with the help of this webhook URL. So again, I'm going to copy this URL, and by following these instructions, I'm going to build the connection. So let me first log into my Instamojo account. All right. So because I was already logged in, that is why I have reached to the dashboard. Now I'm going to click on this payment links and I will create a new payment link. Okay, from this create new button. Okay, select payment link. Okay, now choose the smart link because we need to set up the webhook. Okay, let's say I am selling PHP notes. Okay, and I'm going to choose the flat pricing. Let's say $9 is the amount. Click on customize link. And here you will have to select it, the smart actions, and here exactly you will find the add webhook option. Okay, again go back, copy this URL and paste it here, and this is how we're going to build the connection. Click on done and you can see your link is ready. So this is the preview link. This is the Instamojo payment link which I have created. I'm going to open it, okay, in a new tab. Let me show you. Before I make any payment, let me go back to Pabbly Connect and read the instructions. Okay, read it. Log into the application where you have added the webhook URL and do a test submission or record so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So basically it is asking me to do a test submission, basically to do a test payment in Instamojo so that the payment details can be recorded here as a webhook response. So let me go back and assume that a dummy user is making a payment. Email address of the person is admin@pabblytutes.com. Here is any random phone number. I have added it. Now click on next. Let me make this payment. So you can see the payment is successful. Let me check whether the response is received or not, and you can see the details of the payment has arrived automatically here. That means the first step of our integration is successful, which is connecting Instamojo and Pabbly Connect. But here you can see I have the link ID, the payment ID, the status, currency, amount, and this particular thing. Where are the details of the customer who has just made the payment? So let me take you to this important note. Note that if you need full details corresponding to any transaction ID, then you need to use the Instamojo get payment details event in the next action step. Yes, to fetch out all the details of the transaction. So basically the customer name, customer email, I need to add one more action step here, and I will do this. Okay, so go here and choose the Instamojo again in the action step, and here we are going to select which particular action event as per the instructions. Let me check what it is. Get payment details. Okay, so where it is get payment details, here exactly it is. Click on connect. Click on add new connection, asking for API key and auth token. From where I can actually get it, you can see the link is given here. I'm already logged into the Instamojo account. That is why I'm going to click on this link. Okay, and you can see it has redirected me to this page directly in the API and plugin section. This is the private API key. Now let me check what it is asking. It is asking private API key. Let me copy it and paste it here. Second thing is the private auth token. Where it is? Here it is. Copy again and paste it here. Now simply click on save and you will see again your Instamojo account will be connected with Pabbly Connect in action step as well. Now it is asking the payment ID. Well, which ID? Enter payment ID here to fetch full details. Well, let me show you that we have actually received a payment ID. Okay, we are going to map this particular ID. We are going to fill this particular email ID, not the email ID, the payment ID here in this particular. And you will find the above webhook response here in the drop down. You just need to select that particular field, and whatever you're going to map will be replaced automatically next time. Okay, so here is the payment ID. Now clicking on this button, and now let me check whether I'm actually getting the transaction details or not. Okay, you can see here is the buyer name, the dummy user. Well, I have made a silly mistake here. Make sure you write it correctly, or your customers will of course write it, give it in a proper way. The phone number is here, the email address is here, and here is the price, the currency. Well, we have all the details. In fact, we have the date as well. So it is actually done. Now I'm going to add these details to MS Excel. That is why I have clicked on this plus icon, and let me search for the Microsoft. Okay, let me correct it. Okay, Microsoft Excel. And in action event, I want a row should be added to my worksheet. That is why I will choose this one. But before that, let me show you my Excel sheet which I have already created. This is the MS Excel sheet in which I would like to save all the details of the customer and the payments. Okay, so let me connect it with Pabbly Connect. Click on connect, click on add new connection, click on connect with MS Excel. Now click on yes. The authorization is successful. That means we are successfully connected. Okay, now we are going to fill these fields one by one, and the very first field is workbook. Let me first show you my OneDrive account in which I have created several files, and these are the files you can see: webinar registrants, WhatsApp messages, event details, alright, the lead details, and all of them are actually visible here in the drop down because my account is connected with Pabbly Connect. So the Excel sheet which I have created, name of it is all customer and payment details. So let me select the same where it is all customer and payment details. Here it is selected. Second thing is the sheet. So I have just a single sheet, going to select the same. Okay, it is already selected well. Now further I have column A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, what are these? The various columns which I have created in the sheet are automatically visible here. I just need to fill these fields one by one. What it is asking, the customer name. From where I will get this data? Of course from the above data, but I don't need to copy and paste it. You will find the above data here only. From which particular step? From the second step, because we have actually fetched out the details from the get payment details action step. Okay, so it is asking customer name. Here is the buyer name. All right, second thing is the customer email. You can actually search also here. Okay, email. All right, here's the email, admin@pabblytudes.com. Third thing is the phone number. Again search for it, phone number. All right, it is there. Now the amount and the currency, here it is INR. The amount, again search for it, 9 rupees. And last thing is the payment date. Let me search for the date. Okay, well, let me search it in a different way. Payment created at, this is the date. Let me click on this button, save and send test request, and I'm expecting this data to be arrived in the MS Excel sheet which I have created, that too automatically. Okay, so let's wait for the response. You can see the response is just arrived and it is actually successful. The details are actually added. Let me go back, let me refresh it and wait whether the details are actually saved or not. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, and yes, you can see the details are added automatically with the help of Pabbly Connect. Okay, let me even expand it. This is the dummy user admin@pabblytuts.com. This is the number. Amount is here. Let me make it left align. Okay, and here is the payment date. So this is how you can also set this automation. Okay, you can actually connect Instamojo with your Excel sheet in real time with the help of Pabbly Connect. Okay, in case you want to clone this whole setup into your Pabbly Connect account for free, I will add the link of this workflow in my description box, from where you can directly clone it into your account for free. Let me close it for now. And once you have created this automation inside Pabbly Connect, you don't need to perform any manual work. Generally, people ask me this again and again. So let me tell you, you do not need to perform anything manually. Once you have set this automation under Pabbly Connect, simply close it whenever the payment is received, or you can say whenever the new sale is arrived in Instamojo Gateway. The details for the same will be added automatically here in Microsoft Excel.
In this video, we are going to learn how you can send Instamojo failed payment or card abandoned details to Excel. So the idea here is that you are selling some products digitally and collecting the payments for the same using Instamojo Payment Gateway. Now you want that whenever a new sale happens and the payment for that particular sale gets failed or the cart is abandoned, then the failed payment details should be saved to your Excel spreadsheet as a new row. So here you have to integrate your Instamojo account with MS Excel. So here your trigger application would be Instamojo and your action application would be MS Excel. So how you can integrate both these software applications using Pabbly Connect and how you can set up this automation, for that you need to come to my screen. So welcome to my screen. Here let us type Pabbly, pabbly.com in our browser. This is the website of Pabbly. Here we have to come to products and click on Pabbly Connect. This is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. As you are the first time user, you have to click on sign up for free button and you can create your own account in just 2 minutes. And you're going to get free task every month. If you're already a user of Pabbly Connect, simply click on sign in. In the all apps section, come to Pabbly Connect and click on access now. This is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow. For that, come to this plus sign and click on create workflow. Now here we have to give a name to the workflow. So let us give the name as Instamojo to MS Excel integration. Here you can give the workflow name as per your requirement and simply click on create. Now we can see a trigger window and an action window. So Pabbly Connect works on the concept of trigger and action. Trigger means when this happens, action means do this. So in this particular use case, we want that whenever the payments get failed in your Instamojo account or the cart is abandoned, then the failed payment details should be entered to your MS Excel spreadsheet. For that, we have to integrate Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect. So simply open this trigger window and here choose the application name as Instamojo. Select the trigger event as new sale. Now here we can see a webhook URL and some instructions. So by following these instructions, you can set up the webhook in your Instamojo account. So I'm just going to copy this webhook URL from here and I'll take you to the dashboard of my Instamojo account where I have already created some smart pages. Okay, here you can see the page as Pabbly Connect, programming languages, donation. So in this way, I have already created some smart pages. Okay, here we are going to access this Pabbly Connect page. Let's click on this 3 dots and click on edit page. And here I have just customized the page, given the page header title as Pabbly Connect. You can just customize the page as per your requirement. Here I have selected a theme. You can also select a theme as per your requirement. And here I have given the product or the purpose of the payment as automation and integration software. Amount as a testing amount for ₹10. So here you can give the actual amount of the product. Okay. And when we scroll down, here we can find the page settings option. So come to page settings and here we can find add webhook button. So we have to just enable this add webhook button and here we have to paste the webhook URL that we have copied from Pabbly Connect. And now let's click on save and update. Now it is asking save and update. Are you want to save the changes? Let's click on yes, save and update. Smart page Pabbly Connect edited successfully. Okay, now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And now here we can see that it is waiting for the webhook response. So in order to capture the response, we have to do a test submission. It means we have to make a payment on the name of a customer. So let's move to the Instamojo account once again. And here I'm just going to click on these 3 dots and click on share page. And here we have got the payment link. So I'm just going to copy it and I'll open it in a new tab. And now we are going to make the payment. Let's click on pay now. And here let us enter the details of the customer. First name as demo, last name as name itself, email address as demo@pabblytudes.com. Let's enter the mobile number over here. Let's click on pay. And here I'm just going to make the payment from my credit card. These are the test card details. The payment is getting processed this time. Okay, now we can see that the transaction is failed. The payment is failed over here. Now let's move back to Pabbly Connect. And within some seconds, we can see the response is captured over here. We can find the payment ID over here. We can find the payment status as failure. We can find the payment amount as 10 rupees, currency. And here we can find the payment date and time along with the time zone. And here we can find the customer details, his name, his email address, the phone number, okay. And some other details are also captured over here, okay. We can find even the reason or the purpose for which the payment has been done. Yes, the automation and integration software, okay. So now we want this data to be entered into our MS Excel spreadsheet. But here, I'll just want to show you that the payment status is failed over here, okay. But there may be the times that you may receive the successful payment status over here or card abandoned. So in that case, we have to apply a filter over here that this particular workflow should run further only when the payment status is failed or whenever the cart is abandoned. Okay, so let's scroll down, click on this plus sign, add actions tab, and here choose the application name as filter. Select the label over here from Instamojo as payment status is equal to, and here we have to give the value as failure. Okay. So whenever the payment status will be equal to failure, then only this particular workflow should run. So filter is basically a if condition. If this particular situation or the condition satisfies, then only the workflow should run further. Let's check the condition by clicking on save and send test request. And here we have got the status as success message, condition is true. Okay. So it is going to work further. Okay. And here I want to show you one more thing, that payment completed at. The date and time is given over here along with the time zone. So I don't want to include the time zone in my MS Excel spreadsheet, and even I want the date to be in DD, MM and YY format. For that, we have to just change the format of this date. For that, again come to this plus sign and click on add actions tab. And here choose the application name as date and time formatter. Select the action event as format date only. Click on connect. And now here we need to give the date that needs to be formatted. So come to Instamojo, and from here let us select the payment completed at, the date which we have got from our trigger response. And here we have to select the to format, in which format we want this date. So I want this date to be in DD, MM and YY format. Okay. And along with the time. So let us select the format over here as DD, MM and YY along with the time. Okay, let us select this particular format. Okay. And now let's click on save and send test request. And here we have got the date, month and year format along with the time. Okay. And the time zone is not there in this particular result. Now we are going to add this data in our MS Excel spreadsheet. So can come to this plus sign and add an action step over here. Choose the application name as MS Excel. Select the action event as add row to worksheet. Click on connect. Click on add new connection and click on connect with Microsoft Excel. Now it is asking let this app access your info. So let's click on yes and give away the access over here. Authorization successful. And now the MS Excel account is connected to Pabbly Connect just because I was already logged into my Microsoft Excel account. So make sure before creating a connection, you are logged into your Microsoft Excel account. Now, as we have created a connection between MS Excel and Pabbly Connect, here we can find all the workbooks that I have created in my MS Excel account. Okay. So here I'll just take you to the Excel sheet which I have already created. and the sheet name is payment status, the spreadsheet is payment status, and the sheet name is sheet 1 over here, where I'm collecting all the details, that is the date, name, email address, phone number, purpose, amount, and the status. So I want the data to be entered in this particular Excel sheet. So I have to select the same sheet name, that is payment status, over here in Pabbly Connect also. So let us find the same spreadsheet over here as payment status. And now as I have created a single sheet in this particular spreadsheet, it will be automatically captured over here in Pabbly Connect. You can see the worksheet as sheet 1 over here. Okay, it is getting processed within some seconds. We'll be able to see. Yes, sheet 1. So if you have created multiple sheets, from the drop down you have to select your specific sheet name in which you want to enter the details. Now here it is asking for the details that need to be entered into the columns, that is the date, name, email address, and other details. So we have already got all these details from the trigger response over here. So we'll be mapping these details now. Okay, for mapping, scroll down, simply click it over here, and here we have to map the date that we have got from date and time formatter. In the same way, we'll be mapping the name from Instamojo trigger response, and the name was demo name. Here we'll be mapping the email address. Here we'll be mapping the phone number. In the same way, let us map the purpose. So the purpose was automation and integration software. Here let us map the amount. And here we have to map the status. That is failure. Okay. So we have entered all the details. Now let's click on save and send test request. Okay, and here we can see the response is received. It means the details are entered to our MS Excel spreadsheet. Let's check it. We have to just refresh it. Okay, and here we can see the details, date and time mentioned over here, name as demo name, the email address of the customer, his phone number. Here we can find the purpose, amount as ₹10, that was the testing amount, and the status as failure. So in this way, we can see that our integration is working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect and let us save this workflow first. Data saved successfully. Okay. Now, as this is a one-time process, we have set up the automation. Next time, whenever the payment is going to fail in your Instamojo account, automatically the failed payment details will be entered into your MS Excel spreadsheet over here. So let us check this in the real time, that whether our integration is actually working fine or not. For that, I'll just move to the payment page once again. And here we'll be entering the details of some other customer. Let's give the first name as dummy name this time. Last name as customer. Email address as dummy@pabblytudes.com. Let's enter the mobile number. Let's click on pay. Okay, let's click on more payment options. Let us select the credit card. Here I'm just going to enter the card details. Click on pay. Transaction is going to fail. Okay, and here we can see that the payment has been failed. Now let us check our Excel spreadsheet. We have to just refresh it. Okay, and here we can see that the details are entered into our Excel spreadsheet. Here we can find the date and time. Here we can find the name of the customer as dummy customer, his email address, the phone number. Here we can find the purpose, amount as 10, and the status as failure. So in this way, we can see that our integration is perfectly working fine. Let's move back to Pabbly Connect, and now I'll just minimize all these windows and let us see in a nutshell whatever we have done till now. So first, we have created an integration between Instamojo and Pabbly Connect so that whenever a new sale happens, automatically the details are captured in Pabbly Connect. Then we have applied a filter over here that this particular workflow should run only for the failed payments. Okay. Then we have applied the date and time formatter just because we want the date which we have got from our trigger response to be in DD, MM and YY format along with the time and not the time zone. And then using all these details, we have entered the data into our MS Excel spreadsheet. And in this way, we have learned that how we can create an integration between Instamojo and MS Excel and how we can capture the failed payment details or the car abandoned details in MS Excel using Pabbly Connect. Thank you.
Guys, in this video, you will learn how you can automatically schedule meeting with your customers using Google Meets on receiving payment from Instamojo application. So guys, here we are connecting Instamojo as the trigger application and Google Meets as the action application in the workflow of our automation. And guys, here as and when you are going to receive payments from your customer via Instamojo, meetings will be scheduled inside Google Meets application automatically, and you can see those meetings scheduled on your Google Calendar. Okay, so this is going to happen automatically, and we are going to set up this automation using Pabbly Connect, and you can also set up this very easily without any coding. Let me show you how you can do this. Guys, this is the landing page of Pabbly Connect. We have pasted the same link in the description as well. From here you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account and you will get free automation tasks to set up and test your automation. Okay, so you can sign up right now, and after that log in to reach here on the dashboard of Pabbly Connect, and here you have to click on this create workflow button to create a workflow, and you can also give a suitable name to this workflow. So I am giving the name here as Instamojo to Google Meets automation. Okay, so after filling the name, just click on create button and you can see your workflow page is getting ready here. Alright, and here you will find these two modules, the trigger and the action. So with the help of these two modules, we are going to set up this automation. Okay, so in the trigger, we are going to connect the trigger application. Trigger application means on which the trigger event is going to occur. So the trigger event is that event which is going to trigger this workflow or make this workflow run, and the action would be the response towards the trigger. Okay, so in our use case, the trigger would be a new payment we are going to receive inside Instamojo application. Okay, so you have to connect Instamojo as the trigger application. Here it is selected, and you have to select the trigger event as new sale, and it will give you this URL. This is called as a webhook URL, guys, and with the help of this we are going to make a connection with Instamojo by following these steps written here. So let me show you directly. You can read the instructions and follow them. So guys, this is my Instamojo applications dashboard, you can see, and these are all the products we are selling here. So you have to select your products. So I am selecting this one, Pabbly Connect. Okay, and here when you click on it, when you click on the product, you will find this kind of window, and from here click on advanced option. Under advanced, when you scroll down, you will find this webhook URL field. Okay, so let me remove this already pasted webhook URL first. Okay, and you will find a blank field here like this, and here you have to paste this webhook URL. So just click on copy from here and go back to your Instamojo and paste the URL here like this. Okay, then click on save, and your webhook URL is updated here successfully, right? And here you can see, as I have copied this webhook URL, it started showing waiting for the webhook's response. So this means now we can perform a test submission. Test submission means we are going to create a sale, a demo sale manually. Okay, and the details of that sale or payment is going to be captured here in this workflow. So let us just open this product only. So I'm going to open this product, and here you can see we have this view on store option. So I'm going to open this product in a store in incognito window. Okay, and here I'm going to click on buy now, and here let us fill the details of any demo customer. Okay, so the first name is demo, last name is customer only. This is the email address. Okay, and here I'm clicking on review and pay. Okay, so it is asking for a phone number as well, so I'm putting the phone number. Alright, so I'm going to make a payment. So from this QR code, let me complete the payment. And you can see here, guys, we got this response received, and it is showing the amount of the payment, the buyer's name, the buyer's data, the phone number, and all other things. Okay, so that's how you can capture the test data. Alright, but guys, here you can see it is not showing us some other things like the date of the payment and the time of the payment. So we can find out and also the product details. So we can find out all those things using this actions tab. Here you just have to connect Instamojo one more time, and with the help of an action event we can get all other details, and the action event is this. Let me show you. Get payment details. Okay, select get payment details option, then click on connect. And guys, the connections that you make here are saved in your account. So if you want to make the connection again with Instamojo, you can use the existing connections, okay, or saved connections. So you just have to keep this select existing connection options selected, and you have to click on save, and you will be connected again. But if you are making the connection for the first time, you have to select this add new connection, and here it will ask for the private API key and the authorization token of Instamojo. For that you need to find out the API and plugins section available in the Instamojo account. Okay, like I can show you that this is my Instamojo account. And so guys, here in the dashboard on the left hand side you can see we have this API and plugins section. Just click on it, and here you can find the private key, so you can just copy it and paste it here like this. Okay, and similarly you will find the authorization token. You can copy that and paste it here. Okay, and then click on save, and you will be connected like this, right? And here it is asking for the payments ID. So you'll see the payment ID details here. You can see in the previous trigger, this is the payment ID. So I can just map it here. So just to map the ID, just click here, and it will show you the Instamojo step in the drop down. And from here only you can see all the data that you have received in the trigger, and from here click on payment ID to map it. Okay, then click on save and send test request, and you will get the full details about this payment. Here it is showing the currency details, the amount, the buyer's details, and also you will find how the payment has been done from the QR code. And here you can see we got this created at label in which we got the date and the time of the payment. Okay, so guys, when you are receiving the payment, you want to schedule meetings with your customers. So suppose that you have a team of 3 members who are going to conduct those meetings on Google Meets. Okay, and you are receiving many payments, guys. Okay, so for that we are going to assign the meetings to each of my team member one by one sequentially. For that we are going to use some features here, guys. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to fetch out the time and the dates on which I want to schedule the meetings. So here you can see we got the date and the time on which we got the payment. Okay, so I want that after 24 hours, okay, or the next day of the receiving of the payment, the meetings should be scheduled between 10 AM to 6 PM. That means in the office hours only. Okay, for that to happen, what I'm going to do, just click here on this plus icon, and first of all I'm going to use date time formatter feature of Pabbly Connect, and I'm going to fetch out the date one day after this date. Okay, for that I'm going to use modify current date option. So with the help of this we can modify the current date. Current date means the date on which we are receiving the payment. So just click on connect here, and here it is asking for the format of the date. So let the format be as it is. Okay, and in the time zone, select your time zone. My time zone is Asia, Kolkata, so I'm selecting this. And in the operation I'm going to select addition. In the units I'm going to select days, and in the value I'm going to put 1. Okay, so it will give me the date one day after the current date. Okay, so click on save and send test request, and here it is showing the date as 492022. Previously the date was 392022. This was the current date. This is the date of tomorrow. Okay, so at this date I want to schedule the meetings. Now we want time, guys, on which time we want to schedule the meetings. So for that, just click here on this plus icon, and I'm going to fetch out the time from this date time, from this created at label. Here you can see we have received the date as well as the time, 7:59. So I'm going to fetch use this label only to get the time. Let me show you how. You just have to open another action step, and from here you have to search for date time formatter again. Okay, and here you have to select format date only option. then click on connect, and here it is asking for the date. So here I am going to map this label, the created at label, from the second step. Okay, so just click here, and from the second step map the created at label like this. Okay, and here it is asking from which format you want to convert the date. So the format was this only, you can see YYMMDD and a T in between, then hours, minutes and seconds. So this is the same format already selected, no need to change anything here. And I want to fetch out the time only from this date and time, so I'm going to select this hours and minutes. So it will give me the hours and minutes included here in this date time label. Okay, let me show you. Just click on save and send test request, and the time will be fetched out here like this. Okay, 7:59 got fetched out from here. Okay, now guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this date, split this time also. Okay, so here you can see we got this hours and minutes. So I want to schedule meetings from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the office hours tomorrow. Okay, but this time is 7:59. This is not included in the office hours. So what I'm going to do here, to create a time between 10 and 6, I'm going to use here another feature which is called number formatter. And in the number formatter, I have an action event which is called counter. So counter will give me the counting of numbers from any starting number to any end number. Let me show you. Just click on connect, and here it is asking for the initial value. So I want that meetings should start from 10 a.m. So the initial value I'm going to put here is 10, and the operation I'll select is increment, because after 10 I want meeting to happen at 11, 12, 13. That's how. Okay, so I'm going to change the value by 1 only. Okay, reset on execution, no, and the final value would be 18. That means the 6 p.m. So in 24 hours format, I'm going to put it as 18. Then click on save and send test request. So this is the final value. You can see 11 it is showing. So that's how it is going to work. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, then 10 again. Okay, so that's how this counter is going to work. So this will act as the hour on which this final value label is going to act as the hour on which we want to schedule a meeting. Okay, and so we got the hour, and from this hour and minutes, I'm going to fetch out the minutes from here. For that, what I'm going to do, just click here in this plus icon, and I'm going to use another feature here which is called text formatter. Search for text formatter, and here we have this action event which is called split text. Okay, then click on connect, and here it is asking which text you want to split. So here I'm going to map this hours and minutes result label. Okay, and I'm going to split the minute out of that time. So just click here and it will show you all the previous steps, and from this fourth date time formatter step you will find this result label. Just map it, and in the separator I am going to put this colon between the hour and minutes as the separator. Okay, and here in the segment index I am going to select second. Segment index means which part of this date and time you want to split out. So I want the second part, the minutes thing. Okay, so I have selected second, then click on save and send test request, and here we got the result label in which we got the minutes. So this result label is going to act as the minute on which this meeting is going to be scheduled. So you will get the hours from this final value label, and you will get the minute from this result value label. Okay, now let's move forward, and here let's create a proper date and time to create a date and time for the start date and time and end date and time of the meeting. Okay, so why we are doing these things, I'll show you later when we are going to connect Google Meets in the action step. Okay, for now just search for date time formatter one more time, and here I'm going to select an action event which is called format date with time zone, this one, and then click on connect, and here it is asking for the date that you want to change the format of. So we are using this step to create a date and time label in this format. okay, so that we can use, in this format, so that we can use the date time label further in this workflow. So to create that, just click here and we are going to use the data from the previous steps. So guys, here you can see in the third step, in the modify current date step, I have added one more day to the current date. Okay, so that means we are going to have the date of tomorrow to create a meeting. So use this step and map the date first. Okay, and you have to put the date in this format, so just give a space, and now it is time to map the time. So just click here, and to create a time you will find the hour from this counter. The final value will act as the hour. Okay, right, then put a colon here manually, and for the minutes you will find this you will find the minutes of the meeting from this text formatter step, in which we have splitted the minutes. We got this result label. Okay, and then put a colon one more time and put 00. That means the meeting is going to be scheduled at this date, at this hour, at this minute and 00 seconds. Okay, right, so let us get this label created. Here I am selecting the from format, so we have used this format, guys. Okay, and I want to change it into this format, YYMMDD, a teen between hours, minutes and seconds, and our time zone was Asia Kolkata. And now I want to convert this date into UTC format, that means universally coordinated time format, because Google Meets application want the format in UTC only. Okay, it takes the format of time in UTC, so I am selecting UTC time format here. Right, then click on save and send test request, and we got this result label. So this will act as the starting date and time of the meeting. And I also want to have a similar date time label for entering the end date and time in Google Meet step. For that, what I'm going to do, just click here on this plus icon and search for date time formatter again one more time. And in the action event, you have to select add/subtract time. Okay, then click on connect, and here it is asking to enter the date. So I'm going to map the date from the last step. And in the expressions, I'm going to put plus 15 minutes. Why I'm putting 15 minutes? Because I want to create meetings for 15 minutes with my customers. Okay, so if you want to create meetings of 1 hour or any other time, you can use this formats written here. You can see plus 8 hours, 1 minute, 1 month, minus 2 days. So you can use just use these kind of words to put here, and you can get the time. Okay, so I have put here plus 15 minute, and here it is asking for the format. So my format is this, in which we have mapped the date, you can see, and I want the date in this same format only. So I am selecting this one more time here, and then click on save and send test request, and here you can see we got this date time label. It is showing 6:44 as the end date and hour, and previously it was 6:29. Now after 15 minutes, after adding 15 minutes, it got converted into 6:44. Okay, now we got the required data, and just click here on this plus icon and another action step will open up. Now guys, as I have told you that we have three people who are going to conduct these meetings with the customers. So I'm going to assign these meetings sequentially to all these three members. Okay, for that we are going to create three conditional paths. For that we are going to use router feature of Pabbly Connect. So with the help of router, you can create routes or conditional paths for automating your work. So we got this route here. So let me rename this first route. So this route is for the first team member who is going to conduct the meeting starting from the 10th hour. That means 10 AM tomorrow. Okay, so I'm putting here, this route is for 10 and 11 and 12. Okay, let's say. So at 10th hour, 11th hour and 12th hour, this person is going to do the meeting with the customer, and this route is for that person. team member 1. Okay, then click on set filter and action steps, and here it is asking to select, it is showing you the filter. So with the help of filter you can apply the condition on which you want to create the route. Okay, so my condition here would be when the counter shows you these 3 values, then create the meeting in Google Meets with this person. Okay, this is the condition, that when the counter shows you these 3 values. For that, just click here, and from the previous steps you will find this number formatter in which we have used the counter. From here, map the final value label like this, then make the type filter type equals to, and what I want, when this final value shows you 10, 11 and 12, so put here 10 first. Okay, then 10 or 11 or 12. So these are 3 conditions we have. So when on these 3 conditions, team member 1 is going to conduct the meeting. So just click on this plus or condition button, and another condition will open up. From here, select the same label, same final value label from the counter or the number formatter. Now put the value as 11. Then click on plus or condition, select the same filters, select the same label, final value, and put the value here as 12. This means whenever the final value shows you 10 or 11 or 12, schedule a meeting with team member 1. Okay, so click on save and send test request, and here you can see the condition is true. Now when this condition matches true, what we want to schedule a meeting. So just click here on this plus icon, and let's schedule a meeting using Google Meets application. Alright, so here it is, Google Meet, select it, and the action event is schedule a meeting. Then click on connect, and from here select add new connection, then click on connect with Google Meet, and from here select that Google account by which you are using that application. Okay, then you have to provide some additional access. Just click on continue, and you can see we are getting connected here. Alright, so we are connected, and here it is asking the calendar's name on which you want to see the meetings. So this is the calendar, and this is the calendar I'm using named as workflow training, and here I want to create meetings. Alright, so let me select the calendar's name, workflow training is here, select it, and here it is asking for the summary. So here I am putting the summary as meeting for discussion. You can put your own summary, I'm just showing you the demo. Alright, and here in the description, I'm going to put explaining about, and here, or let's me type here to explain about, and here I'm going to you can mention the product's name. Okay, so my product was Pabbly Connect. Alright, so this is specifically the workflow for a particular product. Okay. Alright, so here it is now asking for the start date time and the end date time. So I'm going to use the previous data. So we have created the start date time using this 7th number date time formatter step. This was the date time label, just map it. And for the end date time, use the previous step, which was this 8th number, the last step. Okay, right. So it will be a 15 minutes meeting, and in the attendees email, first of all you have to map the customer's email address, which you will find from the first step or from the second step. Okay, and now you have to put a comma, and in the attendees I'm going to put the team member 1 email address also, which is going to be conducting this meeting. Okay, so here I'm going to put the email address as team1@. Right. Okay, and here you can leave this blank. This is not a compulsory thing, and you can check your connection with Google Meets application by clicking on save and send test request, and you will see a new meeting will be created on this date. So let me delete this one. It is already created. Okay, so this is my calendar, and let's check our connection. I'm clicking on save and send test request, guys, and this is the response we have received. Okay, let's see in our calendar if we got a new meeting created. And here you can see at 11:59 AM a new meeting is created, titled as meeting for discussion and to explain about Pabbly Connect. And here you can see these are the two guests inside this meeting, our team member and the customer. So that's how it is going to work, guys. So we are done creating this route. Now I'm going to create two more routes just similar to this route. For that, what you can do, you can just clone this same route, guys. Let me delete this second route. Okay, and I'm going to clone this same route two more times. So just click here on the three dots and you will find this clone option. Click on clone, then click on clone. Okay, and you can see it got cloned here, and then click on one more time clone button, then click on clone button, and you can see this same route got cloned two more times. Let me rename these two more routes. So guys, you can see I have renamed the two routes also. So this route is for conducting meeting at 13th hour, 14th hour and 15th hour tomorrow with the second team member. And this route is for the third team member who is going to conduct the meeting at 16th hour, 17th hour and 18th hour. And after 18, the counter is going to be reset and the meeting will be conducted with the team member 1. Okay. So guys, you have to change a few things here in the second and third route, and the things are, let me show you. Just click on set filter and action steps. Here you just have to change the values. Okay, here in place of 10 put 13, here put 14, here put 15. Okay, then click on save and save this step, right? And here in this Google Meet step, you have to change the email ID of the second team member. Okay, that's how you can change, and then click on save, and we are done setting up the second route. Similarly, in the third route, you have to change the values in the filter. Here put the values now as 16, 17 and 18. Then come here and change the email ID of the third team member, right? So that's how you can do it. So we are done setting up this automation, guys, and you have to set up this automation only once. After that, you don't have to do anything manually in the workflow. After that, as and when you are going to capture any payment using Instamojo or any other payment gateway application, in place of Instamojo, you can use Razorpay as well. Okay, the meetings will be scheduled and created, and you can see the meetings directly in your Google Calendar automatically. Yes guys, and if you want to use the same workflow, you can use it, because I'm going to paste the link of the same workflow in the description, and you can clone it in your own free Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation instantly.
In this video, we are going to see how to create Pipedrive contact for Instamojo payments. So let's say you are using Instamojo as a payment gateway, and you want that every time there is a new payment through this gateway, so on your Pipedrive, which is your CRM, a contact should be created with this information. Now how can you do this? For this, you will have to integrate these two applications, and the same can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here, your trigger application would be Instamojo and your action application would be Pipedrive. Now how can you do this yourself and automate this entire process? To understand this, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, it will take us to the landing page of this software. Here on the right hand side, you can see two options: sign in and sign up for free. If you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, then you will have to sign up by clicking on this tab. It will not take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. Now I'm going to click on sign in as I'm an existing user here. And here we have reached the all applications page. Since we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect application, let's click on access now. And now we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a blue tab, Create Workflow. Let's click on that. And here it is asking us to name our workflow. So here I want that every time there is a new Pipedrive, like new Instamojo payment, so a contact should be created on Pipedrive. So I'm going to click on Create here. The name of my workflow is Create Pipedrive Contact for Instamojo Payments. Now we have reached this particular page, which has got two very important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is the response. So now here I'm going to choose my application as Instamojo. So once done, now I have to choose the trigger event. Trigger event is the event that will make your workflow start. So here I'm going to choose new sale. And now you can see that we have received a webhook URL. A webhook URL basically acts as a bridge in connecting two applications. So here it is going to connect Instamojo with Pabbly Connect. Now we have to follow these steps so that we can set up this connection. So first we have to log into our Instamojo account. Then we have to click on the product for which we wish to set the webhook. Then we have to move to the advanced settings where we will find the section for entering the webhook URL. So now here I'm going to first copy this down. Now I've already logged into my Instamojo account. So let's go there. And here we have the products. So I'm going to click on this products, go to all products once I'm here. So here you can see the products that I already have. Let's say that I want to buy PHP for beginners. So I'm going to click on this. Now here on the left hand side, you can see advanced. Let's click on this. And as I take you down here, this is where you have to paste the webhook URL that you have just received. I'm going to paste it, then save it. So once done, now going back to Pabbly Connect, here it is asking us to first log into our application and then do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So now we have to record the response. For this, I'm going to do a test submission. Going back to Instamojo. So we have PHP for beginners. So I'm going to click on this and then view on store. So once I go to store here, so you can see the option buy now. So let's click on buy now. As soon as we do that, here we have to enter the customer information. So let's say my name is test user and the last name is 123 demo. And then I have the email ID which is testuser@pabblytudes.com. And then I have the mobile number which is, okay, this is just a demo number. So once done, I'm going to click on review and pay. And here this is the item. Let's click on make payment. So once done, here you can see that we have received the scanner and here we have to pay. So first let me make the payment quickly. So here you can see that the payment has been done. And now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and see if we have received the API response. So yes, you can see that we have received the API response. This is the amount. Then we have the buyer name, test user 123 demo. Then again, this is the email address, mobile number. Then this is the payment ID, payment request ID, and that is it. So once we have received everything, now what is my objective? My objective is that every time there is a successful Instamojo payment, so this user should be created as a new contact in Pipedrive. So now I'm going to choose my next application as Pipedrive. Let's click on this. And now the action event. So for the action event, I'm going to click on create a person. This is going to be my action event. Let's click on connect. Now here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Pipedrive account. For this, I'm going to click on add new connection. And to set up this connection, it is asking for the API token. To receive this API token, first we will have to log into our Pipedrive account. Once we go there, we have to go to settings, then personal preferences, and then to API. So now I'm going to take you to my Pipedrive account. So here we go. And here we have to click on the profile icon. Once we do that, here you can see company settings. Let's click on this. And now here you can see personal preferences. So once we click on this, you can find the API option. I'm going to click on this, and this is my API token. Let's copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste it here. Now I'm going to click on save to set up this connection. So here you can see that the connection has been made, and now we have to map this data. Name, label, last name, first name, phone number, email address, organization, owner, visible to, etc. So for this, first I'm going to click on this, go to my Instamojo new sale, and this is my buyer's name. So once I'm here you can see that I need the last name and the first name. So for this last name and first name, I will have to split the data, because the way we have received the information, we haven't received it in first name and last name form. So here I'm going to click on this add action step, and now I'm going to choose text formatter, which is a feature by Pabbly. Now let's click on action event and go to split text. Let's click on connect, and now here we have to select the text which we need to split. For this I'm going to go to the name option and then the separator. So here the separator would be the space bar. How do we write that? We will have to put double curly braces, then write space, and again put double curly braces. So now I want the first segment as well as the last segment, so I'm going to click on all and then save and send test request. So here you can see that we have received the information in the desired format. Going down here we have Pipedrive. I'm again going to quickly set up this connection, click on save. Once done, here I need the last name. So for this I'm going to go to the second step, and this is my last name. Then the first name. So for this I'm again going to the second step, and this is my first name. Now here the phone number. So let's map this information, going to the first step, and this is the information. Email address, again we are going to map the email address, and now here is the name of the organization. So you can always ignore the field, or if you have fill in this information, you can always do that. Then the owner, and then visible to. So I want this to be visible to my owners and followers. I'm now going to click on save and send test request. So here you can see that this process is a success, and here we have received all the information. So now we are going to go to a Pipedrive contacts and check if this contact has been created here. So here I'll go to contacts, and here you can see that we have just now created a customer test user 123 demo. This is the email address and this is the phone number. And here you can also map the name of the organization. So I hope this is very much clear to you. This basically means that our integration process is a success, and Pipedrive and Instamojo, they are now totally connected. But we also need to check this in real time. So I'm again going to go back to my Instamojo account and going to products. So here I'm going to go to view on store, and I'm again going to make a payment. So I'm going to click on buy now, and this time the name of the customer, let's say, is customer new, and the last name here is demo 123, and then the email address is customer new at pabblytuts.com. So now the mobile number, so let's say the mobile number is the same, and then I'm going to click on review and pay. So let's click on make payment, and here we have received the scanner. So I'm going to quickly make the payment now. So here you can see that our payment has been done, and now this means that this customer should be created on Pipedrive. So going back to Pipedrive, here you can see customer new demo 123 has been created. This basically means that this entire integration process is a success. We have done this successfully, and now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So this is an extremely easy two-step integration process where our trigger was Instamojo and the trigger event was new sale. Then we had put another action step, which is a feature by Pabbly, which is text formatter, to split the name. And finally, we had chosen our action application as Pipedrive, and action event was create a person. I hope this is very much clear to you. In case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. Also, you can clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from that, if you have any doubts or you have any suggestion or advice, you can always write to.
So in this video, we will learn how to create a GST invoice sheet on Instamojo Payments. Now suppose guys, you are using Instamojo to collect payments from your customer and you are collecting payment from different products or services, and you want to add those new payment details into a Google Sheet, but you also want to ensure that you add the percent of GST applied or percent of tax applied on those products and service as well into the Google Sheet, so that you just have to share your Google Sheet with your accountant or chartered accountant and they can work on your taxations. Now guys, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be receiving a new payment on Instamojo, and the action will be adding those new payment details with the tax details into a Google Sheet. Now guys, how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So first of all, we will go to a browser and search for pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So I will sign into my own Pabbly Connect account. And after signing in, we will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. Here we just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. And now we can see that we have reached to Pabbly Connect's dashboard. In this dashboard, just click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Instamojo to Google Sheets GST details. Instamojo to Google Sheets GST details. And let's click on create. And now we can see that a workflow is open over here. So in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, first we have to get the details or the data of new payments which we are receiving on our Instamojo account in Pabbly Connect. So we are going to connect Instamojo with Pabbly Connect. Then after that, we will check that for what products we are getting payment. So it is most likely possible that you are using Instamojo and selling multiple products and services, and multiple different rates of GST and taxes are applicable on those products or services. So first we will detect that what are the product for or what is the service for which we have received the payment. Then we will find the GST percent or tax percent that is applicable on that particular product or service. So for example, if we are receiving a payment for some product and 18% of GST is applicable on that product. So in Pabbly Connect workflow, using a feature of Pabbly Connect that is lookup table, we will get the tax percentage of that particular product, and then we will add all those new or received payment details into a Google Sheet with the GST percentage. So it sounds complex, but it is extremely simple. How we are going to do this? Let me show you. So here in trigger window, in choose app, first we have to search for Instamojo. Select Instamojo over here. And then here in trigger event from the drop down, we will select new sale. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we will use this webhook URL to connect our Instamojo payment page or payment link, whatever we are using to collect the payments, and Pabbly Connect. So by following the help text given below, we can basically connect our Instamojo payment link or payment page with Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text over here. So first we'll go to the dashboard of our Instamojo account, and after reaching this dashboard, from the left side I will go to Smart Pages section. So I have created a smart payment page using Instamojo, and the name of this payment page is New Store. So let's go to click on these 3 dots and click on this Edit Page option over here. After that, we will scroll down and you can see at this page I have entered some details of the payment. So I have added 3 products. The name of these products are following: product 1, product 2 and product 3, and there are 3 different prices. Now suppose guys, just for an example, suppose this product 1, the GST on this product 1 is for example 5%. Then the applicable GST on this product 2 is of 18%, and the applicable GST of product 3 is of 28%. So whenever we will receive the payment on this payment page, we will get the details for which product or service we have received the payment. Then we will check that what is the applicable GST, and we will add all of those new payment details into the Google Sheet. with the particular tax percentage. So we will scroll down here after at this edit section of this page, and here after scrolling down we have this page settings, and below it we have this option named as add webhook. So first we have to turn on this button in front of add webhook, and guys here we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here, go to Instamojo and paste it over here. And after copying this webhook URL, what we have to do, we just have to click on the save and update option. And that is it. The smart page or the payment page which we have created using Instamojo, we have successfully connected that payment page with Pabbly Connect. Now every time we will be receiving a new payment on this page, the details of those payment will be captured inside Pabbly Connect workflow. And we are going to do the same. What we are going to do, we are going to make a test payment over here. Just click on the share page, get the link of this smart page and paste it over here. Now after that, as you can see, this is my payment page. So as I told you, I have 3 different products. For example, let's order this product 2, on which we are taking example that 18% of GST is applicable. So I'm making a payment as a customer, as a dummy customer, I'm buying this product named as product 2. Let's click on pay now. And now let's enter the details of a dummy customer over here as well. For example, dummy name. This is the name of the customer. Let's enter the email address as well. And the mobile number. So this is the mobile number. So in this way, we have entered the details of a dummy customer. Let's move ahead. Let's enter a dummy address as well. City, for example, Bhopal. And state is Madhya Pradesh. And let's enter a GST number. Now guys, we have also collecting the GST number of the customer if they are applicable, if they want to use it as well. Now let me enter a GST number of a dummy company, for example. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have this dummy GST number right in front of us. Okay, so let me just correct it. And yes, this is a dummy GST number. For example, dummy business. So I'm also asking for the GST number if applicable from the customer. So this is their GST number and this is the company name. So in this way, guys, you can see that we are making a test payment. Now let's click on pay and let me make a payment over here. So it will take me a couple of seconds. And the payment is done. Now we can see that just now we have received a new payment on our Instamojo payment page, the smart payment page which we have created using Instamojo. And because we have connected this payment page with Pabbly Connect, we will see as we receive this new payment, instantly the details of this payment are now captured in Pabbly Connect workflow as well. So here in Pabbly Connect, we have received some response, and in this response, we can see some details of this payment like the payment ID, the payment status, the amount for the payment. So we have selected the second product and the price of that second product was 10 rupees. So we have received the amount for which we make the payment. We have the date and time, that at what date and time we have received the payment. Then we have the name of the customer, the email address of the customer who made the payment. Then we have the mobile number of the customer. And here we have the product. So here we have received the response of the product as well, that if we are taking payments for multiple products or services using the same page, that particularly for which single product the customer has made the payment. So this was product 2. Then after this, we will scroll down and we have some other details like the address of the customer and all, and also the GSTIN number. So in this way, guys, we can see that all the details of new payments which we receive on Instamojo are now captured in Pabbly Connect. Now what we have to do, first we have to figure out the tax percentage of the product for which we have received the order. So we want that if the customer has made the order for product 1, then we should receive the tax percent of product 1. Then if the customer has made the payment for the product 2, then we should receive the tax percentage of the product 2. And if the customer has selected a product 3, we should get it. So to get these kind of responses, these kind of details which are based on the product which customer makes a payment, we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect, and that is lookup table. What we are going to do, we will scroll down and come to this action window. And here in choose app, we will search for lookup table. After that, in action event from the drop down, select lookup table over here and click on connect. After selecting a lookup table, it is asking us lookup key. So here in lookup key, we have to map the response of the product. So what is the applicable tax percent? This basically depends on the product, which product the customer buys. So we have to basically map this response of product over here in this lookup key. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field over here, and in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Instamojo of a new payment can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, select the response of the product name and map it. Then it is asking us for the fallback value. Let's ignore it. And here we have to basically create a lookup table. Now guys, this lookup table, how it works. So here in label section, we have to mention the name of the product, which we will be getting from Instamojo. And in front of that, in value section, we have to actually enter the tax percentage which are applicable on that product. For example, here we have created 3 products, product 1, product 2 and product 3. These are the name of the product. So let's start with product 1. Product 1. So this is the name of the product which we will be getting from Instamojo as a response for every payment. Like it can be product 1, product 2 or product 3. And the tax percentage which we have decided for product 1 was 5%. So this is just an example. Let's click on this plus button. Now let's enter the tax percentage of product 2 as well. Product 2. And for example, the tax applicable GST is 18%. Click on plus button and let's enter product 3. And the applicable tax is, for example, 28%. So in this way, you just have to map the response of product name over here in this lookup key. You have to enter all the name of the product, exactly how we are going to receive from Instamojo over here in this label section. And you have to enter the applicable GST or tax percent in front of that in this value section. So here, when we will click on save and send test request, because we have received the payment of product 2, because we have received this payment, we have marked product 2 over here. In response, we will get the value of 18%, the same value which we have entered over here in front of product 2 in this lookup table. Let's click on it. So as I told you, this is it. So whatever data we are mapping over here, basically whatever product for which we are getting the payment, on that basis, using this table, we will be getting the response or the data over here. So in this way, we have also figured out that how we can get the percentage, the GST percent or applicable GST percent on the basis of which product the customers ordered. Now guys, let's send all of this data to Google Sheets. So we have basically shared our Google Sheet with our chartered accountants. And then guys, whenever we receive a new payment, the data or the details of those new payments are added into the sheet. And because my accountant, the chartered accountant, also have access to those sheets, they can manage all of those details and taxes. So to send this data to Google Sheet, let's click on this Add Action Step button. And here in Choose App, let's search for Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets. And then in action event from the drop down, select Add New Row. Click on Connect. Select Add New Connection. And here guys, we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Connect with Google Sheets button. Select your Google Sheets account. Scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Sheets account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the next thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. So in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the spreadsheets which we have created in our Google Sheets account can be seen over here. So out of all of the spreadsheets, the spreadsheet in which I want to add these Instamojo payment details is named as Instamojo GST Payments. So I will be selecting this sheet. So this is the spreadsheet which I have created in which I want to enter the payment details. Now, after selecting our spreadsheet, the next thing it asks us to select the sheet. So in this spreadsheet, as you can see, there is only one sheet right now, that is sheet 1. So here in Pabbly Connect, from select sheet, we will be selecting sheet 1. Then after that, all the column of data which I have created in my Google Sheet, we can see all of these columns as different fields over here in Pabbly Connect workflow, like payment ID, customer name, email, mobile number, and other fields as well. Same fields by the same name which we have created columns in Google Sheet. Now what data we want to enter in which column, we have to basically map that data over here in their respective fields. And as we all know, the process of mapping is very simple. So here the first field is of payment ID. So we have received the payment ID of the newly received payment from Instamojo. And as we all know the process of mapping, just click here. And in the drop down below, we can see all the responses of new payment which we have received from Instamojo can be seen over here. So out of all of these responses, select the response of payment ID and it will be mapped. Now let's move ahead and let's select the customer name. Just click here. From the drop down below, select the response of customer name and it will be mapped. Now let's map the email address. Click here. From the drop down below, select the response of customer email and map it. Now the mobile number. Click on this field. From the responses of Instamojo, select the response of customer mobile number and map it. Then let's map the address. But we have received address in variable lines. So here we have the address, the city, postal code, state and country. So first we'll map the address. After that we will add a comma over here. And then we will be mapping the city. So after mapping the address, add a comma and select the response for the city. Let's add another comma and let's add the select the response of state. So this is the state. And let's ignore the country and add the postal code at last. So this is the postal code. So in this way, you can also map multiple fields, multiple responses in the same field as well. Then the customer's GST in number. So from the drop down where we have the response of GST, this is it. Just select this response and map it. Then the name of the product which customer has ordered. So from the drop down, let's select the name of the product. This is it, product 2. Select and map it. Then the payment amount. So this is the total amount. And at last, it is asking us for the tax percent. So here we have received the tax percent for the product, the same product for which we have received the payment from customer. So from this lookup table response, we will be mapping the tax percent over here. And as I told you, we are doing this because the tax percent will be keep on changing on the basis for which product we are getting the payments. So from lookup table response, whatever product we are getting payment for, on that basis, on the lookup table basis, we will get the tax percent value. And after mapping all of these details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And when we click on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received some response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that all the data which we have mapped over here, basically all the details of the new payment which we have received on Instamojo with the GST, applicable GST percent on that particular product for which we received the payment, is now added into as a new row in our Google Sheet. So let's go to Google Sheet. And yes guys, here in our Google Sheet, we can see that a new row of data is added. And these are the same details of the payment which you have just now received on our Instamojo payment page. So we have the payment ID, the name of the customer, email, mobile number, address, the customer GST number, name of the product which customer has ordered, the total amount, and also the tax applicable, the total GST applicable on this product, that tax percent. So in this way, guys, we can basically get the details of Instamojo payment and automatically add those details into a Google Sheet with the applicable GST percentage as well, so that we can share all of these details with our chart accountants and then they can calculate the tax and do their work easily. So after setting up this automation, let's get back to Pabbly Connect and understand in brief that what are the steps we followed to set up this. So first, we have created a workflow in Pabbly Connect. And in this workflow, we have selected Instamojo as a trigger application and new sale was our trigger event. Then after that, we have connected our Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL so that whenever we will receive a new payment in Instamojo, the details of that payment should be captured inside Pabbly Connect workflow as well. Then after that, using a feature of lookup table, we figure out that for what product, what percent of taxes are applied. So we have created a table that for what product we are getting the payment from the customer, and on that basis in response, we will get the tax percent entered in this lookup table. And at last, we have sent all of these details, all of this data to Google Sheet so that we can add a new row over there. So not just these applications, guys, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing, you will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for.
In this video, we will learn how you can automatically enroll a user in Go4Click on Instamojo Payments. Let's say you want every time you receive a payment on Instamojo, the user should be enrolled in Go for Click. So we are going to automate this entire process using Pabbly Connect. Come to my screen to see how we do this. To automatically enroll users in Go for Click on Successful Instamojo Payments, let us first go to Pabbly's website. You can see the landing page of Pabbly. On the top right, you can see two options, sign in and sign up free. Well, if you sign up free, you will get free tasks every month. So do not forget to sign up. Since we already have an account, we will just sign in. Now Pabbly Connect. On the top right, you will see a create workflow button. It will ask you to name. We will simply write Instamojo to Go for Click. Okay, it's loading. Okay, now it will show you two windows, trigger and action. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. So our entire automation process would be based on these two steps, trigger and action. Let us understand this with the help of an example. A trigger can be when a purchase is made, the action can be send a confirmation message to the user. In our case, a trigger can be when a successful payment is made on Instamojo, the action can be enroll a user in Go for Click. So let us begin and select Instamojo as our trigger application. For the trigger event, we will select new sale. It triggers when a new sale or successful payment is done. Okay, now it has generated a webhook URL like you can see it over here. So webhook URL is basically a link that connects two applications. So we are going to copy this and follow these steps as to how to set up the webhook URL in Instamojo. So for that, we will first have to log into our Instamojo account. We are already logged in, and now we will have to select the product of the page where we wish to set webhook. Okay. So this is my Instamojo dashboard. You can see here. Now in the payment section, I'm going to go on Smart Pages. These are the few pages that I have created here. You can see tech courses, Pabbly Connect, programming languages, and so on. So I will be working on tech courses. I'm just going to click on edit page. So you can see the title, the image here. That's how my page is going to look like. These are the options here. The first one is demo course, that is priced at ₹9. And then the second option is advanced course, that is priced at ₹11. So these are just the testing amounts I have given. You can give the actual price. Okay. So now I want to set up my webhook URL here. So I will scroll down, and you will see add webhook. So I'm just going to enable this here in the webhook section. Remember the webhook URL that we copied? Yes, this one. So we are just going to paste this URL here, and we are going to save and update. So it asks, are you sure you want to save the changes? Yes, we want to. And here you will see it's done successfully. Now coming back to Pabbly, you will see it's waiting for webhook response. So what we will have to do is, we will have to go to our Instamojo, make a dummy payment, a dummy purchase there, and then to see if it is able to capture, Pabbly is able to capture the response. Okay, this is to ensure that Instamojo and Pabbly are connected or not. So let's quickly go to my Instamojo and make a dummy payment. Okay, so I'm going to, this is the page tech courses where I had set up my webhook URL. I'm going to select view page, and you can see it's going to look like this. That's how. So there are two options, advanced course and demo course. I want to buy demo course, so I'll click on this and click on pay now. So you will see I filled in the customer information form, the first name example, last name dummy, then the email address and the contact number. So I'm just going to click on pay now. So it is showing me the QR code here. So I'll quickly make the payment. Okay, so you will see the payment has been made and the order is processing now. Now let us go back to Pabbly and see if it is able to capture the response. And yes, Pabbly has captured the response. You can see the payment status success, the amount that was paid 9, the currency Indian rupee. Scroll down, you will get the buyer customer details like customer name,
example dummy, and this is, since this is just for testing purpose, I've given such names. Then the customer email address, the contact number, and then the product that they bought. Okay, so this means we have successfully integrated our Instamojo with Pabbly Connect. Now on to our action step. So here we will select go for click. For the action event, we are going to select enroll user. Let us connect, add new connection, and now it needs an API key. So for that, we will click here. Since I was already logged into my Go for Click account, I will not have to give my credentials. And now on the top right, from the top right, I will select my account, Pabbly Tudes. Okay, come to the left hand side. The second last option, you will see integrations. Okay, so these are the API keys that I earlier created for my previous workflows. And now I'm going to add a new one. Okay, I'm just going to select testing as the API key name. You can select as per your requirement. Now this is the key generated here. I'm just going to click to copy this, come back to Pabbly and paste the API key. Let us save, and you will see it's connected. And now it needs a few details like email, course ID, first name and last name. So what we are going to do it, we are going to map. Let us click here and take from Instamojo. You will see the email here, but before we map in this email address, you must be thinking, where exactly are we getting these Instamojo details over here? So let me take you to step 1, where we integrated Instamojo with Pabbly, then did a test payment, and Pabbly captured the payment details as well as the customer information. So Pabbly had brought exactly same information, same data over here, and that's how we are going to map it from Instamojo. So you can see this is the email address. We are going to map it. Now for the course ID, pay a little attention as we read the help text. To get the ID of the course you want to enroll, you have to get it from the URL of the course. Alright. So we will need the number. The number from the URL would be our ID, would be our course ID. Okay. So let me take you to my Go for Click. Let us just escape this. And on the left, you will see courses. Alright, so I have this just a demo course that I created. So I want to enroll under this. So here you will see manage. Click here, manage. And on the top you will see course URL. And like it was written here in the example, from the course URL, the 4-digit code would be our course ID. So we'll focus on that. This is the 4-digit code. We will just copy this, come back to Pabbly and paste the course ID. Now it needs first name. Again, we are going to map it from Instamojo. Let us scroll. So you will see the full name here. However, we want first and last name separately, like you can see in the field here. But this in Instamojo, it's showing together. Example dummy, that is the full name. It is showing full name here. So, but we will be, since we will be needing them as separate names, so what we are going to do is we are going to scroll above and add a step in between. So we are going to write text formatter. For the action event, I will select split text, connect. Now the text to split would be, okay, we'll take it from Instamojo. This is the name that we want to split. We want first and the last name to be separated from here. Okay, so we will be using space as separator as we want to split the name first and last name. Therefore, we are going to use space as the separator. For the segment index, I'm going to select all since I want both first and the last name. Okay, let me just click on save and send test request. And you will see the first and last name have been separated. Okay, so we will be using this to map in our Go for Click step here. Let us come back to this action step. Reconnect. Why? Because we added a step in between. So we are going to reconnect and go with existing connection. As in the previous step, we added new connection already. So I'll go with existing connection, save, and coming back to first name, we'll go to, instead of Instamojo, we'll go to text formatter pick the first name and map it. Now comes the last name. Again, we'll go to text formatter and take the last name. State we are going to leave it blank. Before I click on save and send test request, let me tell you a quick thing about mapping. So the fields that we have mapped in, email, first name and last name. So these mapped in fields from next time will automatically be updated. So what will happen is, when here a payment is made on Instamojo, in go for click action here, these mapped in fields like email, first name and last name will automatically pick the new data. They will automatically be updated and you will not have to do it manually. Alright. Now let us quickly click on save and send test request. And you will see we have received the response. It has generated the user ID as well. Then the username it has taken using email. And you can see the first name, the last name, the full name and other details. So now let me take you to my Go for Click account to see if example dummy has been enrolled as a user over there. So this is my users list. You can see all these names are here. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next page and you will see this person example dummy has been enrolled as a user here. You can see the name example dummy, the email address, which is this, and the username. So this means we have successfully integrated our Go for Click and Instamojo using Pabbly Connect.
In this video, we are going to see how to enroll user in LearnWorlds on Instamojo payment. So every time a new sale happens on any of the payment gateways. So here we have taken the example of Instamojo. So let's say that there is a particular course and a sale has happened. Now the user who has made this purchase, we want to enroll that user in LearnWorlds for the same course. How can that be done? For this, you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here your trigger application will be Instamojo and your action application will be LearnWorlds. Now how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen.
To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect. And as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options: sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are the new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes. And also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in. And as we do that, here we have reached all the applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. Now here we have reached the dashboard of this application. Again, on the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. So here my objective is, on every successful Instamojo payment, automatically a user should be enrolled in LearnWorlds. So now I'm going to click on create. And as I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles and concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, my trigger application here will be Instamojo. So let's click on this. Now the trigger event is the event that is going to make this workflow run, and here it would be new sale. So now I'm going to copy this. This is the webhook URL that we have received. This is going to act as a bridge for connecting Instamojo with Pabbly Connect. So once I have copied this, I have to follow the following help desk, where it is written first we have to log into the Instamojo account, and then we have to click on the product for which we wish to set the webhook, and then the rest of the steps are also provided here. Please read this carefully. I'm going to show you what we have to do. I have already logged into my Instamojo account. This is the dashboard. Now first of all, we are going to go to Smart Pages, and here I already have created a page. The name is MS Office Language. You can create a new page by clicking on this plus icon. So I'm going to go here and edit page. So once
we are here, you can see that you can customize the entire page. You can put a page header, then you can provide a title. There is an image, theme, and then appearance, custom theme. Pricing is here, so I have already given a basic pricing since this is just a test application. And then as we take you down, so here you can see within page settings, here you can see that we have to paste the webhook URL. So I'm going to paste the URL that we have just copied, and once this is done, then we are going to click on save and update. So I'm going to click on yes, save and update. And once this is done, then what is it asking me? That now click on below capture webhook response button and do a test payment so that we can get the webhook response here. So this is already on, and now I'm going to take you back to Instamojo, and here let's go to share page. I'm going to copy the link provided and open this in an incognito window. As I do that, so here you can see this is the payment page that has appeared. Let's click on pay now. And now here I'm going to provide the customer information. Let's say the first name here is new, then the last name is demo. Then here we have the email address new demo@pabblytudes.com. Once this is done, the mobile number, so it is, and now I'm going to click on pay. So as soon as we do that, here we can see that we are now supposed to pay, and here we can see that the payment has been successful, which basically means that if I take you back to Pabbly Connect, here you can see that yes, we have received the API response where the payment status is shown as a success. This is the seller account ID. Then as I take you down, this is the payment amount. This is the payment completed at, which is the time and the date and time. Then again, as I take you down, here is the name of our product, then the amount, and here we have the buyer's phone number, email address, and the name. So once we have received this information, now I'm going to put a filter. Why? Because there are two cases. Either your payment would be a failure or a success. So if it is a success, then only the process should continue. So I'm going to choose this feature by Pabbly, which is filter. And here I have to select the label. So I'm going to select the payment status as success, and this should be equal to success. And once this is done, let's click on save and send test request. And here you can see that the condition is true. So if it was a failure, then here only your process will stop. Now since this is a success, so I'm going to add another action step here, and this time it would be LearnWorlds. So this is my application, and here the action event here would be to create a user. So first I'm going to create this user in LearnWorlds. So I have already created my account there and it is already logged in. So I'm going to click on add new connection, as Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the LearnWorlds account. Now to set up this connection, we need the API URL, client ID, and client secret. And how can we receive this? So first we have to go to LearnWorlds, and then we have to go to settings. Let's go to developers, and here we have to go to API. Now this here is the client ID. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here and here. Then I need the API URL. So here is the API URL. Copy this once again and paste this over here. And then we need the client secret. So the client secret here is this one. So I'm going to copy this and paste this over here. Once done, let's click on save to set up this connection. And here you can see that LearnWorlds and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now we have to fill in the following information. So first of all, we have to fill in the email address of the person. So I'm going to map this information. How? As I click on this, here you can see the previous steps. And as I scroll down, this here is the email address of the person. Now I could have written this manually, but the problem is that if I had written this manually, then every time the workflow would have run, it would have only taken the manually written data and it would have never taken the new data into consideration. And that is why mapping is important. Then is username. So I'm going to go to step 1 again, and here is the username. And then if you wish to add a password, subscribe for marketing emails, yes or no, you have options. Should sign up validation rules be applied? Again, you have true or false as option. Is admin? Then if you want to provide a tag, you can do that. And then I am going to leave this information and click on save and send test request directly. You can add as much information as you want. And now here you can see that yes, this particular user has been created. So how? Let me show you. So I'm going to take you back to LearnWorlds, and here let's go to users, all users. We need to check for new demo, and yes, here you can see that new demo, this particular user has been created. Going back to Pabbly Connect, here my final add action step here would be, the action application here would be again LearnWorlds. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to enroll user to a product. So I'm going to click on connect, and here again we have to connect Pabbly Connect with LearnWorlds account. This time I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Let's click on save. And once this is done, now here we have to enter the user ID. So first of all, I'm going to scroll this towards the right, and now I'm going to delete this. And how can I receive this user ID? So to receive this user ID, first of all, we have to go to LearnWorlds, step 3, create user, and the first step here, the first line says that this here is the ID. So I'm going to map this, and then we have the product type, so it is definitely a course, product ID. Now to receive the product ID, I'm going to take you back to LearnWorlds, and let's go to courses. Here is the MS Office course that I want this particular user to be enrolled in. And here you can see course ID is equals to MS-Office. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. So why am I writing this product ID manually? Because here every time the payment happens, I want this workflow to run for the particular product itself. Now the duration, type, duration, and then we have price. So let me fill in this information as well. I'll go to step 1, and here is the price. And now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And you can see that I have received a message which says that it is a success. Basically, this means that a user must be enrolled in LearnWorlds now. So let's go to LearnWorlds once again. Let's go to MS Office. Here I'm going to go to dashboard, and you can see the latest user that has been created is new demo. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. Now I'm going to show you the same in real time. So I'm going to take you back to Instamojo, and here once again I'm going to make a payment. So let's go to share page. Let's copy this, open this in a new incognito window, and once this is done, here is the payment link. Let's click on pay now, and here let's say the first name this time is dummy user, dummy at pabblytuts.com, and then here we have the mobile number. Let's click on pay. As soon as we do that, here once again we have received the QR code, and now I'm going to quickly scan this and make the payment. And here you can see that the payment has been made successful. So what should happen automatically? First, it should check if the process is a success or a failure, and then you should first create that user and finally enroll it to the application, to the course. So I'm going to take you back, and here I'm going to put a cross on this, go to LearnWorlds, and then here I'm going to quickly refresh this page once, and now here I am going to go to dashboard. So here you can see dummy user just now. So this particular user has been enrolled, which basically means that our integration process is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you to Pabbly Connect to quickly understand what we have done. So here our trigger application was Instamojo, where the event was new sale. And then we had put a filter by Pabbly, which is a feature that helps us to put conditions. And then we have our next action application as LearnWorlds, and the event was create user, and then our final action application was again LearnWorlds, where the event was enroll user to a product. So I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if there's any specific integration that you wish to work on, you can always write to us.
In this video, we are going to see on Successful Instamojo Payments, how can you add subscribers to ActiveCampaign using Pabbly Connect. So here, every time a new sale happens,
in Instamojo, which is a payment gateway, then automatically with the information received, the user who has made the payment, so the information is there. Now you are adding that user as a subscriber in ActiveCampaign, which is an email marketing tool. Now how can that happen? For this you will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here your trigger application will be Instamojo and your action application will be ActiveCampaign. Now how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation you will get 100 free tasks. So now I'm going to click on sign in, and as I do that, here we have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect, and here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this, and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now here my objective is that every time a successful payment is made through Instamojo, then automatically the user must be added as a subscriber in ActiveCampaign. So I'm going to name it as Instamojo to ActiveCampaign using Pabbly Connect. Let's click on create. And as we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens. Action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, as per this integration, my trigger application will be Instamojo. Let's click on this. And the trigger event here would be new sale. Now here you can see that we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect with Instamojo. I'm going to copy this, and then we have to follow the following steps. So I have already logged into my Instamojo account. Let me take you there. Now here I'm going to take you to smart pages. So here I have created a smart page for all my products. You can create your own page by clicking on this plus icon. Let me show you. So let's say that it is MS Office language. I'm going to click on the three dots, click on edit page. Now here you can see that the entire page is customizable. So this is the title. If you wish to put a header, you can do that, cover image or video. Then we have the page theme, appearance. So here the pricing options are there. And then we have the payment button, and then as I take you down, here we have the page settings. So within this page settings, we have add webhook. I'm going to delete this previous webhook and add the one that we have just copied. Then again we have got the page URL settings and post purchase, add-ons, etc. Now I'm going to simply click on save and update. Yes, save and update. And once this is done, this basically means that the webhook has been placed successfully. Now what we are supposed to do here is we have to do a test submission so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So I'm going to take you back to Instamojo, go back to the same product. Let's share the page. Here we have received the link. I'm going to copy this and open this in a new incognito window. Let's paste this. And here is the page. Now I'm going to click on pay now. Let's say the first name here is test, the last name is user, then the email address is testuser@pabblytuts.com, and here is the mobile number. Let's click on pay. As we do that, here you can see that we have received the QR code, and now I'm going to quickly make the payment, and here you can see that the payment has been successful. Going back here, I'm going to close this. Let's go to Pabbly Connect, and you can see that we have received the response where the payment status is a success. This is the payment ID, then the currency is INR. This is the time and date of completion of payment. Then we have the amount. Then we have the page ID. Here we have the product name, then the pricing type, and then we have the name, email address and mobile number of the user. Once we have received this, now what is my objective? That every time the payment is successful, then this particular user should be added as a subscriber in ActiveCampaign. So now here I'm going to choose my next action application, which is a feature by Pabbly filter. And here I'm going to put a filter on the payment status, which is success. So if this is equal to success, then only this workflow should continue. So let's click on save and send test request. Here you can see that the condition is true. Now we are going to add another action step. Here the application will be ActiveCampaign. Let's click on this, and the event would be create a contact. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the ActiveCampaign account. I'm going to select add new connection. Now to set up this connection, we need the API key and the URL. I have already logged into my ActiveCampaign account. Let me take you there. Here we have to go to settings, and then within settings you can see developer on the left hand side. Let's click on this, and here is your URL and the key. So I'm going to copy the URL, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here. Then again I'm going to copy the key and paste this over here. Once done, let's click on save to set up this connection. And here you can see ActiveCampaign and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now we are supposed to map this information. What is mapping? Mapping means that I already have this information in the previous step and I'm just going to retrieve it here. And why is it important? So that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. How do I do it? So as I click on this, you can see the previous step, and here is the email address. So this is the process of mapping. Now here we are asked to fill in the first name and last name, but we had received the complete name. So now to split the name, I'm going to use another action step, which is a feature by Pabbly, text formatter. Here it is. And the action event here would be to split text. Let's click on connect. Now what is the text that I wish to split? The name. So here is the name, and then we have to add the separator, which is space. So the space between the two values is a separator. This is how we have to write it. And which segment do I want? I want both the segments. So I'm going to select all. Let's click on save and send test request. And here we have received the individual values. Now I'm going to quickly refresh this connection by selecting the existing connection, and let's map the first name by going to step 3. This is the first name. For the last name, let's go to step 3 once again. This is the last name. And for phone number, I'm going to go to step 1, and here is the phone number. Let's click on save and send test request. And here you can see that we have received the API response, according to which this user must be created as a subscriber in ActiveCampaign. Let me take you to ActiveCampaign. Let's go to contacts. And here you can see, dear dummy, this particular user has been just created. This basically means that our integration is a success, but we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to take you back to Instamojo. Let's quickly share the page, copy the link, open this in a new incognito window, paste it over here, and now I'm going to make the payment. Let's say the first name here is Smart, the last name is User, then we have the email address, which is smartuser@pabblytudes.com, and then we have the mobile number. Let's click on pay, and here you can see that we have received the QR code, and now I'm going to quickly make the payment. And here you can see that the payment has been successful. Once this is done, let's go back to ActiveCampaign. What should happen? Automatically the subscriber must be created. I'm going to refresh this page, and here you can see Smart User is now a part of my ActiveCampaign, and it is added as a new subscriber. So this basically means that our integration is a success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here our trigger application was Instamojo, where the event was new sale. Then our action application first was a feature by Pabbly, which is filter, to make sure that this workflow continues only when the payment is a success. Then we had chosen our action application as ActiveCampaign, where we had to create a contact, and to split the name we had chosen a feature by Pabbly, which was text formatter. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. In this video, we are going to see how to auto add Mailchimp subscriber when new sale happens in Instamojo. So every time a new sale happens on Instamojo, which is a payment gateway, then automatically here the user who has made the payment, you have received the information. Now using that information, you want to create a subscriber in Mailchimp, which is an email marketing tool. How can we do that? For this, we will have to integrate the two applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here your trigger application will be Instamojo and your action application will be Mailchimp. So how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see two options, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply click on sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now here you can see that as I was an existing user, I have signed in and I have reached all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. As we do that, here we have reached the dashboard of this application. Again, on the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this and a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Every time a new sale happens in Instamojo, then automatically the user must be added as a new subscriber in Mailchimp. So I'm going to name it as add Mailchimp subscriber when new sale happens in Instamojo. Let's click on create. So here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically, action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, my trigger application will be Instamojo, which is a payment gateway. And the event here would be new sale. So every time a new sale happens, then this workflow is supposed to run. So here we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect and Instamojo so that Pabbly Connect can have access to the information. I'm going to copy this and then we have to follow the following steps. This is the help desk given. Please read this carefully. Let me show you what we have to do. So first of all, we have to go to Instamojo. Then here I'm going to go to Smart Pages. So I already have created different pages for the products that I want to sell. And here you can create a page on your own by clicking on this plus icon. This is the product that I wish to sell. This is MS Office language. Now I'm going to click on the three dots given here and go to edit page. So once done, here you can see that the entire page can be customized. This is the title. Then again you can add images, then the theme, color, appearance, custom theme, etc. I'm going to scroll down and within page settings we have to enter the webhook URL. So I'm going to delete the previous one and enter the one that we have just copied. Once done, we are going to click on save and update. So as we do that, here the connection has been set. Now going back to Pabbly Connect, it is asking me to do a test submission so that the data can be received here. So I'm going to go back to Instamojo, go back to the three dots, share the page and copy this link. Open this in a new incognito window, paste the link over here and here you can see this is the payment page. Let's click on pay now. So here we have to provide the name. Let's say the first name here is new and the last name here is customer. Then we have the email address which is newcustomer@pabblytudes.com. Here we have to enter the mobile number and once done, let's click on pay. So here you can see that we have received the QR code and now I'm going to make the payment. And here you can see that the payment has been successful. So once we have made the payment, then going back to Pabbly Connect, here you can see that we have received the API response where the payment status is shown as a success. Then here is the payment ID. The currency is INR. This is the date and time of the completion of the payment. This is the payment amount, the page ID. Then this here is the language. So basically this is the product and then as I scroll down, here is the number, name and email address of the user. Now what is my objective? My objective is to create a subscriber in Mailchimp with the information received. Before that, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is filter. So basically I want if the payment is success, then only this workflow should continue. So here I have to select the label and I'm going to go to the previous step. Let's go to payment status as success. Now this should be equal to success. So if it is equal to success,
then only this workflow should continue. Let's click on save and send test request, and here you can see that the condition is true. Now that the condition is true, I'm going to add another action step here, and this time the application will be Mailchimp. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to add new member with custom fields. Let's click on connect. Here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Mailchimp account. I'm going to click on add new connection. To set up this connection, we need a token and the data center. Now from where can we get this token? So first of all, I'm going to take you to my Mailchimp account. Let's go to the profile picture. Here you can see profile. Now within this, we have extras. Let's go to API keys. As I scroll down, here you can see create new key. So I'm going to click on this. Let's say the new name here is new key. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to click on generate key. Here it has been generated, copied. Go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Next is the data center. So the data center is basically this number that appears as a subdomain in your Mailchimp account URL. So let me show you my Mailchimp account URL, and here you can see US6. This is the subdomain. I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste this over here. Let's click on save to set up this connection. Once done, now here we have to choose the audience list. So here we can see it is Pabbly Connect already been selected by the system. Then we have to map the email address of the person. So for this, I'm going to click on this, and you can see the previous step. So as I click on this and go down, this here is the email address. This process with which we have added the information here is known as mapping. Mapping is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. If I had written this manually, so every time the workflow would have run, it would have only taken the manually written data, and that's why mapping is important. Now here we have to provide a tag. So here what I want is every time a subscriber is added to Instamojo payment, so the tag should be Instamojo. So I'm going to write Instamojo here and then select the status of the subscriber. So we are selecting the status as subscribed. Now if you wish to add interest, you can do that. Now I'm going to write the first name and the last name, but in the previous step we have received the complete name of the customer. So basically here I'm going to add another action step, and this time my application will be a feature by Pabbly which is text formatter. Why? Because I'm going to split the data here. So the action event here would be split text. Let's click on connect. As I do that, here it is asking me the text to split. Let's map the information. So go to step 1, and this here is the complete name of the person. What is the separator? The separator here is the space between the two values. And for this, I'm going to write double curly braces, space, and double curly braces closed. Now, which segment do I want? I want all. So I'm going to click on all and save and send test request, and here we have received the first name and the last name individually. Now I'm going to go down, refresh this connection by going ahead with the existing connection, and as I take you down, let's map the first name. Go to step 3. This is the first name. Then the gender, so I'm going to leave this blank. Last name, again go to step 3, and this here is the last name. Now the mobile number, so go to step 1, and this here is the mobile number. Let's click on save and send test request. And here we can see that we have received the response according to which a subscriber must be created in Mailchimp with the name new customer. Let's go there and let's go to all contacts. So here you can see, yes, new customer at pabblytudes.com. First name is new, last name is customer. This is the mobile number, tag is Instamojo, and it is showing as it is subscribed. So this basically means that our integration is a success. This person is added as a subscriber here in your Mailchimp account. But we also need to check the same in real time. So I'm going to go back to Instamojo, and here I'm going to make another payment. So let's go to share page. I'm going to copy this link, open this in a new incognito window. Let's make the payment. Pay now. This time the first name here, let's say, is Smart. Last name is Customer. Then we have the email address, which is smartcustomer@pabblytudes.com. Then we have the mobile number, and finally let's click on pay. So here again we have received the QR code, and now I'm going to quickly make the payment. And here you can see that the payment has been successful. So once this is done, what should happen? Automatically this person should be added as a subscriber in Mailchimp. So now we are going to go to Mailchimp once again, and I'm going to quickly refresh this page. As we do that, here you can see Smart Customer has been added, which basically means that our integration is bang on. So I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here our trigger application was Instamojo, where the event was new sale. Then we had added a feature by Pabbly which was filter to continue only if the payment was a success. Then our action application was a text formatter by Pabbly, where we had to split the text, and our final action was Mailchimp, and the event was add new member with custom fields. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Hello everyone, today we will learn how to add Instamojo sales to new Zoho CRM leads. So we can add the new leads in Zoho CRM whenever a new sale is generated in your Instamojo. So we can create an automation with this process with the help of Pabbly Connect, where our trigger will be the new sale generated in Instamojo and our action will be to create a lead in Zoho CRM. Let us learn how to do it. So let us learn that how can you create a lead in your Zoho CRM, like these are already created over here, from any payment that you will be receiving from your Instamojo. Like any sale that is generated in your Instamojo account will be updated as a new lead in your Zoho CRM. So let us create an automation for this purpose. We will be using Pabbly for this. Let us quickly sign into our account, and then I will reach this place where I can see all the applications provided by Pabbly. We are going to use Pabbly Connect for today's automation. Click on Access Now, and then you will have to click on a big blue button on your right side because you're going to create a new workflow. So click on the button and give a suitable name to your workflow. I am going to name it as Create leads in Zoho CRM when sales are generated in Instamojo. Click on Create, and then a blank workflow will be created for you like this. You can see on your screen. Trigger and action are the two boxes you can see. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this, which means that what will be your trigger application, an event will take place in that application and it will act as a trigger for this workflow. And then when it triggers the application, the action application will perform the assigned action. For this workflow, our trigger application is going to be Instamojo, because the sale will be generated over there, and further the action application is going to be Zoho CRM, where the creation of lead will be performed. So the event will be new sale. Now it will provide you a webhook URL that will be used to connect Pabbly Connect and Instamojo. The purpose behind this is that whenever a new sale is generated, Pabbly Connect needs to detect that lead, that sale, and then bring that to this workflow as a response. So let us use this webhook URL. These are the following given instructions to follow and how to use this webhook URL. So log into your Instamojo account and then click on product for whichever product you want to set the webhook. For example, this is my Instamojo account and I want to purchase this PHP. When I click on this product, I will get advanced over here, this advanced option. And in this advanced option, I will have a thank you note that is already given over here, redirect URL, and this webhook URL. Okay, so I'm going to erase this webhook URL used by somebody else, copy this new webhook URL, and then paste it over here. Okay, now after this, you have to click on save. Once I've clicked on save, then you have to click on capture webhook. So you don't need to do that. It is already waiting for a response. So you just go back and then open this, view on store, and then create a purchase for this product. Okay, so click on buy now, select the quantity, enter your details. Contact number is this, review and pay, make payment, and then you have to make a payment over here. Here the payment is done. So it says thank you for the purchase, which means that that response would have been captured. When you go back, you'll see that yes, we have received a response. It says credit. First of all, the contact number, the name of the person, the email address, and also the amount that you have paid is also here. So we have the basic details, but we do not have the complete detail that we might have entered. So we just open this and write Instamojo again. And this time we will get the further information that we have entered over there. Click on connect because we have chosen get payment details. Now you don't have to select your new connection again because you have already connected your account in the workflow. So just select existing connection, save. You have to enter the payment ID that you can map from the previous step. So this process is called mapping because you map the data from the previous step that is given in your workflow. So how do you do that? You insert the data from this given drop-down menu when you open it. So you have all the details over here. Here you can see you have the payment ID as well. So you click on that and click on save and send test request. So after this, it will show you all the further details over here. Okay, so now we will just save this. But you have to put one more important step over here. Keep this in mind that Instamojo actually responds to all kinds of payment, whether it is successful or not. So you have to put a filter over here about this success. If the success value is 1, which means the payment is done. If it's not, then this workflow should not work. So in that case, we are going to put a filter over here. Now filter is a feature that is built inside Pabbly. So you have to give a filter of any situation. Like over here, I will choose success, which is right now 1. And the filter type is equal to. You can have any other filter over here, but I need equal to and the value should be 1, which means right now it's 1 and it should also be equal to 1 only. When I click on save and send test request, it will tell me, okay, the condition is true right here. So I will save this. So whenever the condition comes out to be true, then only this workflow will move ahead in the direction of the action application. Then there is one more feature that we are going to use over here. I am just closing this window for a better understanding. Okay. So when you add one more step, it is called text formatter, because I will tell you the reason behind using text formatter here. When you open this and see the name, so the name is not separated, it's combined. But when you are going to fill the create lead details in your Zoho CRM, then it will ask you to fill in the first and second name separately. So we are going to split the text of the name. Okay, so this feature is inside Pabbly. No separate method is there to connect your account. So just click on connect and now you have to map what you want to connect. So click on the drop down menu of get payment details and choose the name that you want to split the name into first and last name. So the separator over here is the space. So if you want to use the space as separator, then you can just copy this from here and paste this command, and you want all the segments. You want the first and second both names. Click on save and send test request, and here in no time you will have the response as see the first and second name separately. Now save this, and now after all these steps, our final step is over here, which is Zoho CRM, our final destination. Zoho CRM. Make sure you've opened your Zoho CRM over here so that you can create lead and keep a check also. The action event is going to be create a lead, and now you will connect the account. Click on add new connection, connect with Zoho CRM, and now you have to enter the domain of your Zoho account. For that you have to go back to your Zoho account and see the URL of your account, which says crm.zoho.com, which means that our domain is zoho.com. So you can copy it from here itself and paste it and save, and it will detect. So you just have to give access by clicking on accept, and therefore the accounts are connected. Once this is done, you have to fill in the details that are generally required to create a lead in your Zoho. So what are we going to do? We are going to fill these details. So as I told you, we have to fill first and last name separately. So this time you're going to map it from the text formatter. This is the first name, then this is the last name. There was no designation, email address was there. So rather than scrolling or finding from which part you have to fill, just click on this search and map data, enter the hint and see, here it is, the email address, then phone number again. So the phone number was something like this, and yes, the phone number is here. Now was there any other detail? No, there was no further detail that was supposed to be filled. Also, there is one more thing that says required, that's annual revenue, which is of no need in our case. So you just put 0 before it. If it's of your use, whenever you use Zoho CRM for any other application, so then you can fill in the detail whichever is required by you. For now, I'm putting it 0 and I'm clicking on save and send test request. Once I do this, you see that we have the response which says success. Over here, we have all the response and the record has been added. So we click on save and then we'll go back to our Zoho CRM to check, refresh this. And yes, DRI, this is the email address and this is the phone number. So we have successfully created a lead after so many steps. But once you have created this workflow, you don't have to do this manually over and over again. So Instamojo, new sale was generated. We got the whole payment detail using the action application as Instamojo. Then filter so that only the successful payments are forwarded. Then text formatter because we had to split the name. And then in the end, Zoho CRM where we created the lead. So this was the whole workflow. I hope this helped.
Hello everyone, today we will learn how to create Airtable record for new Instamojo payments. So whenever you receive a new payment on Instamojo, you want to keep that record of payment in your Airtable. So you can create an automation for this whole process, and that automation can be created with the help of Pabbly Connect. We will create an integration today where our trigger will be the new payment received and our action will be to create a record for that specific payment. Let us learn how to do it.
So now we will integrate Instamojo and our Airtable in such a way that whenever a new payment is made over here in your Instamojo app, then it will be used to create a record over here. Like you can see the customer's name, the address, the contact, the email address, and also the status of the payment, it's credited or not. So we will be creating this integration or this automation with the help of Pabbly. Let us quickly sign in into our account, which will take me to this page where I can see all the applications, and I will be using Pabbly Connect to create this automation. Click on Access Now and you will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Reaching here, you will find this big blue button on your right that's written Create Workflow, and then you have to give a suitable name to your workflow. I'm going to name it as Create Airtable record for new Instamojo payment. Now click on create and then a blank workflow will be created for you like you can see on your screen. You can see two boxes, one has trigger written over it and the other has action. So the trigger means when this happens, which means that whichever application you will choose over here, an event will take place that will trigger this workflow. Alright, and then when that takes place, the action application will perform the assigned action. So for this workflow, our trigger application is Instamojo, because the payment will be done over there. So choose your application as Instamojo and the event is going to be a new sale. So now Pabbly Connect provides you with a webhook URL which will be required to connect your Pabbly Connect and Instamojo. What is the need for this? Because Pabbly Connect needs to keep a track of all the payments that are going to be conducted in your Instamojo. So let us follow these instructions that are given below. First, you have to log in, that we have already done right here. Then you have to click on the product which you need to set the webhook for. So go to products. On the left side panel, you can see products and all products. Over here, you will find the products that are listed in your Instamojo app. So I will be buying this smartwatch over here. Let us click on smartwatch, and here in the menu I will find advanced section. Click on advanced and then you will find this area where you have to enter the webhook URL. So erase the previous one and paste the new webhook URL right here. So once you've done that, then click on save and then go back once it's updated, open it again and go to view on store. When you do this view on store thing, now you have to click on buy now and then enter your details. First name, last name, email address, mobile number. You have to add the delivery information also. So the apartment number. Okay, this is my address, and review and pay. Once this is done, check it again and then make payment. So now you have to make a payment. Okay, so the payment is done. It says thank you for shopping with us. So now we'll go back to Pabbly Connect to see a response has been received. First of all, it says credit, which means the payment is successful. This is the contact number, this is the name, this is the email address, and this is the amount. All right. And there is this URL which will give you the direct access to that page. Now once this is done, so you close this window and we will move ahead to our next step, that is our action application, none other than Airtable. So type over here Airtable, choose your action application. The action event will be to create a record. Click on connect and then add new connection. So when you click on add new connection, you have to enter a token. So go to developer hub over here and then click on create new token. Now when you are giving it a new name, so this will be the new name. You have to add scope. So for reference, you can take the scope detail from here. These are all the scopes given to you. So you have to choose all those scopes. So there are total 7 scopes. So you have to make sure that you select all the 7. And then the base will be all current and future bases and all current and future workspaces. Once this is done, click on create token. A token will be generated. Copy it from here and paste it in the empty field. Now click on save, then Airtable and Pabbly Connect will be connected so that Pabbly Connect has access into Airtable to create a new record. Now you have to select the base ID. So what is the base ID? It's Instamojo. So again, you can type it over here, Instamojo, it already here. Now the table is table 1. Okay, there's just one table existing. So now you have to enter customer name, address, contact, email, and the status also. So all of these fields are similar from the columns that we have created over here. So we are going to map this from the previous step. That is called mapping. Now how do we map? When you click on any empty field, it will ask you to insert data from previous step. So for that, they will give you this drop down menu. So you can take the name like this is the name. Now when it comes to address, so scroll down and then you will find the address also over here. Now you can see that there is no address. So what are we going to do for that? We are going to add one more step over here in between to get the payment details, because we need the address as well, because there is a column for address that needs to be filled. So again, take Instamojo and get payment details. So first of all, select existing connection because you already have one prior connection. And then you have the payment ID. So again, map it from here and here you have the payment ID. So when you have mapped it, click on save and send test request and then you will have all the list of the details. Like you can see over here, this is the address. So save this step and then we will move ahead to Airtable. Now that you have added one more step, refresh this part once so that you have the both previous steps in your mapping menu. Okay, so now when you click on any empty field, you will have both the data over here. So click on this, you can take the name from the first step only. Then when it comes to address, so get payment details, and this is the address over here, the complete address. And the contact, so you have to just go to get payment details. This was the contact number. There was this email address. So for email address, you can just put @ and here is the email address. Now what is the status? So status was very clear from the very first response, that was credit. So once this is done, click on save and send test request and then you will receive a response from your action application as well. So this is here, it says no error, so which means that our workflow has been a success. Click on save and then we'll go to our Airtable account to check, have we received a response? Yes. This is the name, this is the address, this is the contact, email address, and the status of the payment is credit, which means that our workflow was created in the correct manner. So let us do a quick recap. First of all, our trigger was Instamojo. We created a new sale. After the payment, we received a response, which was used by for the second step, that was to get payment details with the help of the payment ID. Then we created a record in Airtable, but for that, remember, you have to make the column for yourselves before you have to send the details over here. So this was the whole workflow. I hope this helped.
Not just these applications, but you can integrate many other applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any issue regarding Pabbly, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any doubts regarding our pricing, then you can connect us through this given website. If you found this video helpful in any way, then make sure to share this with your friends and colleagues to make their life easier by creating automations. We will meet in the next video. Till then, do not forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.